Fox Sports.
We are the Fox. We are the West.
From Chicago, Illinois, Cole Hamels and the Rangers back at it this afternoon against former teammate Derek Holland. It's a warm Saturday afternoon on the south side of Chicago as we get ready for the middle game of this three-game series. The Rangers and the White Sox, a short turnaround and a welcome one for the Rangers after last night's disheartening 8-7 loss here in the opener. Hello again, folks. I'm Dave Raymond with C.J. Nikowski. It was a tough one. I mean, it was an 8-7 loss, 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning. Another troublesome ninth inning for this Rangers team. CJ, what about the state of this bullpen?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not exactly where you want it to be right now. We know there have been some troubles over the course of the season, and we'll look at what has happened so far this season. The 16 blown saves, the high ERA, and the lower strikeout totals. Now, that's because of the personnel that they have there down there in that Texas Rangers bullpen, and some of the guys not necessarily designed to be high strikeout pitchers. But listen, going forward, you just got to figure it out. It's all about what happens now. It's July 1st. Let's go ahead and reset. Take a look at last night with Matt Bush and the issues that he ran into a little bit. We know he's got the great fastball. What Matt Bush was missing in the zone, not exactly hitting the glove the way that he wanted to. You see a fastball there that finishes kind of middle in that he wanted away. Same thing here where Jonathan Lucroy is set up on the corner. But you're going to notice something that's consistent here. And a lot of these fastballs are down. And when you're a hard thrower, 98 to 100 miles an hour, a lot of times you'll have a little bit more success if you can elevate that fastball. The other thing in the Melky Cabrera at bat that we saw that ultimately ended the game is Matt Bush threw a couple of curveballs that were down below the zone. Cabrera swung over the top of them, but that last one was in the zone, and it was barely fair, and it had to go to review when it was all said and done. I tell you what, even looking at it now, there's part of me that says, I think that baseball was foul. But listen, some bad luck. Can't worry about it. Matt Bush going forward, still the closer on this team. He's got a plus arm. I think it's just about maybe becoming a little bit more consistent in the strike zone.
All right, you could imagine if they can get more consistent in that bullpen, this team feels like they can still make a run, maybe in the wild card division. So that will be the plan going forward. Today, great pitching matchup for you. Couple of left-handers. Cole Hamels hits the hill for the Rangers, and an old friend, Derek Holland, for the White Sox. More on that when we come back. Saturday afternoon here in Chicago at Guaranteed Rate Field. Middle game in our three-game series. Talking about the starting pitching of this one. Derek Holland, very familiar name, takes a hill today for Chicago.
You see the numbers, those 8 seasons that he had in Texas, and you also kind of wonder what could have been, right? He had some injuries that he had to deal with, especially over those last 3 seasons, but he was a very serviceable starter for the Rangers and has done a very nice job. Now take a look at what he has done so far this year. And this is with, of course, now the Chicago White Sox, those home and road splits. And for whatever reason, has just really struggled on the road. He's been very good here. It's been a very up and down season for him as you start to dig in. There have been a lot of outings where he's given up a lot of runs. I think it's 5 when it's all said and done, 6+. He's also had some good outings as well. Now he'll be going up against Cole Hamels as we take a look at what his year has been so far, and actually even what he's done against the White Sox. Not very many starts, just 3 of them, and this is the first time that he's ever pitched in this ballpark, which is pretty unbelievable when you think about the length of the career of Cole Hamels. But he'll get that first start, and I think this field's probably changed names about 3 times since his career started.
So he's set to go this afternoon. Elvis Andrus, a couple more stolen bases yesterday, already at 20 for the year. His speed in our spotlight when we come back. AT&T Internet. Visit AT&T.com/keepcalm to learn more. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
A sunny Saturday afternoon here in Chicago as the Rangers and White Sox get set to play the middle of 3 games. And it is time for our Shiner Light Blonde Spotlight. And today we shine the spotlight on one Elvis Andrus, who has gotten it done for sure at the plate. And also when you look at what he's been doing on the base paths as well. Last night, 2 steals, 1 here early, number 19 on the season. Then on the double steal a little bit later in the game, this would be number 20. Elvis in some pretty rarefied air in terms of what he's been able to do over the course of his career on the base paths. Just the 18th player in MLB history with 20+ stolen bases in each of his first 9 seasons. Talked to Elvis about this aspect of his game today. He said, look, I pride myself on being a versatile player, to making something happen once I get on the bases. Jeff Bannister said not only does he do that, but he makes things easier on the guys in the box because they don't feel like they have to do too much. They know that Elvis is a smart and aggressive base runner, and if they just do a little bit, he's going to make the most out of any ball that's put in play, guys.
Yeah, he has been such a big part of this offense for the month of June. And, of course, in there today, batting second as we take a look at our Southwest starting lineup this afternoon. 81st game of the year. Rangers at 39 and 41. Elvis batting second. Robinson Chirinos in the lineup today doing the catching, batting ninth. His last 9 hits for extra bases. Lots of home runs in there as well.
And they'll be going up against Derek Collin, and a lot of these guys, of course, very familiar with Derek Holland. Let's take a look at the arsenal and what he will be featuring, what he has been featuring so far this season. 51% fastball, sitting around 92 miles an hour, but they have been an issue. The batting average well over 300 against, and then splitting up the slider and the curveball. You'll see the change as well. The long ball has been an issue for Derek Holland, but it has been only against right-handers. Very interesting splits. 16 home runs to righties, 0 against lefties, and there were only 2 left-handed hitters in the Ranger lineup today.
Well, we are set, ready to go this afternoon. First pitch on the way, and that one is inside to Delino DeShields. Delino's on base average 343, and you see the speed, the biggest factor with him. 14 infield hits, second in the American League. Corners are in on him, and he takes a strike. It's 1-1.
He does such a good job because of the speed. He's been very good on his bunt hits this year. Right, we've seen some really great improvement there for him. But what that happens and causes is that those infielders, corner infielders, have to come in. It also gives him an opportunity to hit a ground ball past those guys. He's been very good keeping the ball on the ground as well, which really plays into his game.
You know, when you look at DeShields' numbers, of course, it was a big month for him. He came on strong. Now he's getting a little more regular playing time, scoring a lot of runs, and the offense just a different animal when he is in there, especially creating things from that leadoff spot, or for that matter, when he's in the 9-hole, the sort of second leadoff spot. Good count here at 3-1.
Oh.
And hits this ball well down the left field line, but foul.
That's the part of Delino's game we don't see very often, right? Not a power guy, not taking the big swing, but he saw himself in a count where he thought maybe he could ambush Derek Holland, and you see him get actually way out in front of this pitch. It cut back a little bit over the plate. If that ball stayed where Holland wanted to originally throw it, we might have seen a Delino DeShields home run.
3-2 pitch, and he takes strike 3 call. So that at bat turned around quickly. 1 away.
Now let's take a look at the White Sox defense and what will be behind Derek Holland today. Milken, Cabrera, Engel, Garcia in the outfield. Todd Frazier, Anderson back out. That short actually was not there last night. Sanchez, Abreu, and Narvaez will be behind home plate catching Derek Holland. We've talked a lot about these catchers and the struggles that they have had throwing out base runners. They did throw out one last night, but overall it has been a battle. 87% successful stolen base against those catchers this year. That is the worst in Major League Baseball.
Andrus had a couple of them yesterday. Fouls off strike 1 here against his old buddy Derek Holland. He said beforehand, yeah, there'll be a little smile, a knowing glance, of course, out to his buddy. So, but after that first pitch, it's over. We'll be locked in. And he has been, generally speaking, locked in this first half of the season. You saw the career high in home runs, his average over 300, a 345 on base percentage. A sterling first half for Elvis Andrus. Holds up on the appeal. Adrian Johnson, or rather Eric Cooper, said no, he did not go. Yesterday, Andrus a couple of hits, and he was swinging the power bat in Cleveland.
He certainly was, and that is an old tale for Elvis Andrus, who has been so comfortable at Progressive Field, but launching some balls into left field, going over that big 19-foot wall they have, but then also going to right center. That was an impressive home run that he hit eventually into the bullpen.
Little comebacker on the check swing, and Andrus an easy out, 2 away in this first inning. So Derek Holland, last year spent about 2 months on the disabled list, a 7-9 record with the Rangers, 495 earned run average. Of course, a big part of some really memorable and big off seasons with this Rangers team, and one of those guys, it was difficult to see him go. Rangers declined to exercise an option on Holland, signed as a free agent in mid-December with the White Sox. 1-1 the count on Nomar Mazara.
Good use of the fastball here against Mazara so far. A couple located in well, and it's so interesting when you go up against your old team for the first time. You know these guys, you've seen what they have done, but then you start playing that mind game a little bit and saying, well, do they know what I know, and do they change their approach? Should I change mine?
And so far so good for Holland, ahead of Mazara. Ball and 2 strikes. Nomar 259 average, 11 home runs. Yesterday Nomar was on a couple of times, was hit by a pitch, also walked. And Holland dumps it in there for strike 3 call. So 2 strikeouts at the top of the first for Derek Holland. It's just 15 pitches to get it done. Here come the White Sox. Stay out of the Rays a little bit.
SPF.
That's right. All right, underway as we go to the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the White Sox starting lineup. 35 and 44. Melky Cabrera batting second today. The switch hitters had great numbers against Cole Hamels in his career. In fact, some of the best among any active players. Abreu and Frazier. Matt Davidson in the heart of the order today as their DH.
And you'll take a look at Cole Hamels and what he has done this year. The pitch arsenal that he brings to the table. Lots of fastballs. You see it there. 53% of the time. The changeup is going to be very important for him today. There is just one natural lefty in the lineup, and this has been a lineup that has hit lefties very well. We'll talk about that a little bit over the course of this game. But these guys very strong against left-handed pitching.
Hamels comes in on Tim Anderson. Well, Tim Anderson might be one of the primary individuals you would focus on in that regard. A 347 average against lefties. He is 8th in the American League. He's ahead here. 2 balls, no strikes. Anderson yesterday appeared in the 9th inning as a pinch runner. He scored as part of that 3-run rally. 2-1 the count. In fact, it was Anderson who scored the tying run. Ultimately, Alan Hansen the winning run in that one. And now a strike from Hamels evens the count at 2-2.
I mentioned the changeup and the importance of that. I think today for Cole Hamels, a pitch that has been a little bit inconsistent for him, but over the course of his career, it's been a great pitch for him. And if he is going to neutralize all the righties in the lineup today, that changeup is really going to have to be out. Good command with the fastball. Getting the ball in, especially throwing that cutter into those right-handed hitters, keeping them honest. That's been a great pitch for him. You can take a look at the White Sox and what they have done against lefties. That is the best. 300 batting average against all lefties this year. That's the best in the game. So I think that means for Cole Hamels, he's going to have to up his game today.
Well, he gets a ground ball from Anderson. Odor handles it easily, one away in the bottom of the first.
Let's take a look at the Rangers defense, which is delivered to you by DeMontron RV. Delano DeShields in left, Carlos Gomez, Nomar Mazara center and right, Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus, Rougned Odor, Mike Napoli, and Robinson Chirinos will be behind the plate today. If you look around the infield too a little bit, you'll see guys going, if they're going high socks today, it's two different socks. Mike Napoli and Rougned Odor are in the outfield. Excuse me, in the outfield. They are not in the outfield. They're playing first and second base, respectively.
That would be news. Forget the socks. Wait a minute. It's a 1-0. And this one hit to the outfield. And this one could be trouble. It is over the head of Mazara. Cabrera scampers to second and is in there with a one-out double. Well, off the bat, that looked like it could be a little more trouble than it ended up being.
This ball had some pretty good carry on it, and Cole Hamels really didn't miss his spot. And so this was all about the approach of Melky Cabrera, who, of course, hit the big double yesterday, had a nice day, a 2-for-5 day. And he drilled this ball pretty well in the right center field gap. Would have taken a pretty spectacular play for Nomar Mazara to get to it. And right away, you see why this team is good against lefties. Lefties a lot of times live away with the fastball, the changeup, the pop you in, the breaking ball, whatever it may be. But that approach, that right center field approach, is always a good one to take against left-handed pitching.
Well, Jose Abreu now steps in, and when you talk about their ability to hit left-handed pitching, he comes right to the fore. Anderson, yeah, very good numbers. Cabrera, that was an impressive double. But this guy, Abreu, hitting .400 against lefties. When he takes a ball, it's 2-0.
When you start to think about those numbers and your game planning for Cole Hamels, you have to start looking around a little bit. You see that there, 400, 5 home runs. Listen, he's done a very respectable job against the righties, but it just really sticks out as far as what he's doing against lefties so far this year. So Cole Hamels will have some work to do in the middle of that lineup. And again, when they stick out that bad, you got to dig in. You got to start looking. A lot of times, the guy has good numbers. You maybe still want to pitch to your strength. But looking at what Jose Abreu has done against lefties and righties, and you dig in by pitch, the curveball is a good one to go to. He's been very good against the changeup.
Oh, this ball belted out to left field. That one's not going to come down until it reaches the seats. Prior to last night, Abreu had not homered at home. He homered last night in the first inning, and he homers again this afternoon in the first inning. 2-0 Chicago.
Well, it's a dangerous count to begin with. Jose Abreu, you just mentioned how much he is beat up on left-handed pitching. Well, now in a 2-0 count, he gets himself a changeup, and it's not a terrible pitch, but it's a 2-0 count. And so that makes Jose Abreu that much more comfortable. But he came into this game hitting .421 against the left-handed changeup. That is exactly what Cole Hamels threw him. Now he is 9 for 20 against that pitch this year.
So just like last night, the White Sox jump out to a 2-0 start. And here is Todd Frazier. One ball and one strike to Frazier, who had a great night yesterday. Frazier with a home run in the first inning, homered again in the fourth inning last night, part of a 3-homer attack for Chicago. And he takes strike 2 from Cole Hamels. 1 out, nobody on base. And Frazier, the cleanup man, at the plate. Hamels trying to keep that tempo up. Comes way inside, gets a piece of Frazier, and so puts another base runner on.
Well, that's unfortunate because you see Cole Hamels, the frustration right now, because he got himself in a good count against Todd Frazier, who really struggles against off-speed pitches against lefties. And he decided that he wanted to go look like it was a slider, might have been a cutter, but he overthrew that pitch and ended up catching Todd Frazier on the foot. And you'll see where Jonathan Lucroy has to come all the way across to get this thing. I believe that was a slider from Cole Hamels. He's thinking strikeout. He's thinking going down, but just overthrew that one a little bit and yanked it.
So Frazier over at first, and now here is Matt Davidson. And he takes strike one. Davidson was not in the lineup yesterday. Got the night off. So this will be his 65th game of the year. How about that? 17 home runs for the rookie. Currently leads this White Sox team. A White Sox team with a couple of legitimate power threats. But he is the leader. And you look at rookie home run leaders. Aaron Judge 10 in front of Davidson, but there he is, third in baseball.
Yeah, he's hanging in there and doing a really nice job for this club. He's kind of an interesting rookie in the sense that he was able to get himself some big league time in 2013. Not very much, 31 games. And so he was able to keep that rookie status intact. And that was with the Arizona Diamondbacks way back when. He only played in one game last year for the White Sox. So even though he had some service time in 2013, which was quite a few years back, and just the one game last year, he was still able to keep that rookie status intact. And here he is now as a 26-year-old rookie with the White Sox. That's one thing, right? You see guys get a little bit of time, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. That's 4 years ago.
It's a long stretch of time.
Didn't play in the big leagues at all, 2014, 2015. A little bit in 16, and here he is. So a little bit of a different kind of rookie.
And he foul tips that one right into the glove. And a strikeout is out number 2. It becomes that much more notable with the numbers he's putting up this year, too.
Absolutely. You see the breaking ball here from Cole Hamels, the backdoor breaking ball. He left it off the plate the entire time, and Davidson basically had to guess and figure out whether or not he believed that thing was going to catch the plate. It did not, but Cole Hamels did a nice job of enticing him to swinging at that pitch.
Well, with 2 away, Yolmer Sanchez today starting at second base. And shoots this one out to right field. Mazzara is there, and that will end the inning. So the White Sox pick a pair. Jose Abreu with the big 2-run homer, and we go to the second. As we flash it back, let's go into the Wayback Machine to 2009. Derek Holland as a Ranger, Adrian Beltre as a Mariner. Oh boy. That's right. They have faced one another before. And Adrian Beltre 1 for 2 against Derek Holland with that home run. He reminded us yesterday. Yeah, Derek remembers it. He knows.
He does.
Holland's first pitch and misses low. ball one to Beltre. Beltre, Carlos Gomez, and Rougned Odor here in the second. Hits this ball well over short into left field. That's a base hit. So Beltre, not a home run, but he'll take the leadoff single, adding to that career total.
Now 2 for 3. Double up that batting average, but more importantly, a really comfortable swing here from Adrian Beltre. Just looking for something early, hunting, and gets himself a fastball right over the middle of the plate. Laces it in the left field. Beautiful swing from Adrian.
Well, you saw number 2,971 for Beltre. Rangers have a runner against Holland, their first of the afternoon, and here is Carlos Gomez. Gomez yesterday 2 for 5, scored a run, stole a base. He came into action last night in a bit of a skid. He was 0 for his last 12 prior to yesterday's game. The first hit he got was a swinging bunt, just a little dribbler down the third base line. Sometimes that's what it takes, though. Get a guy started again. 1-1 the count.
He's probably happy to see Derek Holland. You talked about jokingly about Adrian Beltre now that 2 for 3, but Carlos Gomez has been very good against Holland as well in his career. Very comfortable against him. 5 for 8, double and a triple.
No real check of Beltre at first base. So Holland not paying too much attention to Adrian, 38 years old, not likely to be taking off on his own per se, although he does have a steal this year.
Jerry Reinsdorf off to an early start. Cigar number 1. I'm going to keep track today.
Yeah. One way in and gets a piece of Gomez. He'll go to first base. So a couple of men on to start the second inning. Brings up Rougned Odor, and we saw a little bit more of the power last night from Odor.
Yeah, I think things are really starting to come together here. Saw some opposite field base hits on this trip, but the big home run on a first pitch split finger from Mike Pelfrey. You see the nice high leg kick, the good balance. A lot of times for leg kick guys when they're not going well, they're going to get thrown off with a good split finger, but that one sat in the middle of the plate, and Rugi did a nice job staying back on that ball and crushing it to right field. Some good things happening. He's continuing to work his way out of this a little bit. The confidence certainly has not been lost at all, and that's probably the most important thing when it comes to Rougned Odor.
Rugi hitting .207, but now 13 home runs, and takes a ball from Holland. So 1 for 5 yesterday with a homer. 4 for 31 on the road trip. Odor today with the start at second base. The only Ranger who has started every game so far this year. This number 81. And he takes a strike. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Odor.
See that one just off the plate, down and away. Derek Holland thinking to himself, yeah, I'll take that. It's probably a ball off the plate.
That one definitely off the plate. 2-1 the count.
Well,
Adrian Johnson, our plate umpire.
When you have those calls, it's the smart thing to do. Now that's a slider. He goes a little bit further away, trying to do more. But if an umpire is going to give you a couple of inches off the plate, especially left-hand lefty, which is a habit a lot of umpires will fall into, as a left-handed pitcher, you got to try to exploit that and continue to go out there until he tells you he won't call it.
Way in that time, and some sense maybe that Odor started his swing, they would check it, but no go. 3-1. So a hit by Beltre. Gomez plunked, and now a 3-1 count to Odor. Very good start to the second inning. White Sox had just given Holland a couple of runs on the Abreu homer. And now the count full on Odor. It'd be very nice to come back and answer those 2 runs in this second inning. Rangers last night, they had a couple of similar opportunities where they got a lot of base runners on, but had trouble getting them home. Bases loaded, nobody out in the first yesterday. Nothing doing. Loaded the bases in the 8th inning, could not get a run home. Three-two from Holland, and that's ball 4. Odor, a difficult one to walk, takes his 13th of the year, and they are loaded up.
Well, I love Derek Collins' reaction here, as if this was going to be called a strike. A nice at bat by Rougned Odor. And after Holland threw the pitch, he looked out at home plate umpire Adrian Johnson and asked, "Was this away?" It was away. The ball was outside. Let's take a look at it right here. Watch the setup. Watch how far off that is. I mean, look, you can see clear as day that was a ball. But I love, you know, and it's such a game that pitchers play. I love it, right? Hey, was that away? Like, you know it was away. You know that's what he called. And as an umpire, I would feel like saying, no, actually, I had it inside. You know, just, I mean, you know he's messing.
Well, the base is loaded for Mike Napoli. Napoli, you talk about a guy who strike zone judgment and frustration lately. And a guy who knows the strike zone as well as anybody swinging a bat in the big leagues these days. And yet he has had some really tough at bats. Some close calls that just have not gone his way on this road trip. 1-1 the count.
I think the great patience of Mike Napoli certainly has been tested. We've seen him multiple times, and you know, he knows it hasn't been his best year so far. He continues to grind when you feel like the umpires are taking the bat out of your hands when they're calling pitches off the plate. So many over these last few days. He's remained pretty patient in the process, but if that continues, we may see that patience go away pretty quickly.
I got a couple of walks yesterday along with a base hit. Beltre third, Gomez second, Odor is at first. No one fouled off. Evens a count of 2-2. He was talking to Emily about that earlier today, right, Em?
Yeah, he can tell he's getting frustrated. I mean, he's felt like he's battled it his whole career. Obviously, it's being magnified now because his batting average is so low, and he hasn't been as productive as he wanted to be. But he said, "Look, I know I'm batting 180, but you don't have to, you know, take it out on me. It's hard enough for me to try to get on to have to battle that." So he is noticing it, and it is getting frustrating. Hopefully, it won't spill over.
Now he takes called strike 3. So 1 out in the second inning.
We'll take a look at this one, and you see the setup in, and I tell you what, I don't know, we see a lot of movement from Narvaez back there. You see that, trying to make that pitch look like a strike, which always tells me that he believes it was a ball. And that's actually a pitch that you don't get to see called as often. The lefty, when he goes into the righty, over time, a lot of umpires have shown that the strike zone will get a little bit smaller in those spots. When it's a lefty that's hitting that same area, it gets a little bit bigger. So I think Holland got himself a call there.
So now goes to work against Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy, the DH today, batting 8th. He's had his share of grand slams in his career, 3 of them. Bases loaded, 1 out here. Wouldn't be shocking to see the Rangers hit a grand slam. Such a great majority of their offense this year has come on home runs, and lately there's been talk about the fact that there's been the reliance on home runs, so many strikeouts. Jeff Bannister's talked a lot about, well, like to sustain some innings, get some runners on ahead of those home runs. They've had some chances, and sooner or later you figure they're going to capitalize on 1 or 2. And that one a little bit low. 3-0 to Lucroy. So worse, I don't know about worse, but certainly Holland would be kicking himself if he were to walk in a run.
No doubt about it. You mentioned the home runs. The Rangers come into the series 7th in Major League Baseball. No, they don't want to give up the home runs. I don't think they want to back down the power, dial it down at all. They just like to see a few more guys on base when they are hitting those home runs. That's what Jeff Bannister talked about. You love having that in your lineup because with one swing of the bat, you can completely change the complexity of a game. Now, you can win without power. We're seeing some teams, especially the Boston Red Sox, going to come to mind, do well, score the runs without hitting the home run. But you love having it. The issue has just been getting more guys on base in front of the guys that are hitting the home runs.
Lucroy was swinging 3-0 and bounces the 3-1 pitch to the right side, smothered nicely by Sanchez, and he will take care of Lucroy for the second out of the inning. A run across though, Beltre scores, and it's a 2-1 game. The inning continues. Couple of men in scoring position now for Robinson Chirinos, who, well, when he's been in the lineup, he has been awfully productive.
Well, we know the power has been there, and it's been a pretty incredible year for Robinson Chirinos, and what he has done as he creeps up closer to a career high, and we're not even to the All-Star break yet. He's getting more steady playing time because of that. There's been more time behind the plate where Jonathan Lucroy has DH. There's been a couple of times, of course, where we've seen Robinson DH.
Look out, a little chin music from his former battery mate. Let down a home run in 7 of his last 11 starts. And with each start, when he gets in there, we think, well, come on. It's like impossible that he could do it again. But he has continued to do so. You saw that number a moment ago, the home run per at bats. And nobody hits them more frequently than Chirinos. Holland having a little trouble here, and he and Narvaez can't seem to decide on what they want to do with Robbie.
Well, I mentioned facing your former teammates and how that can make you think a little bit. Facing your former catchers will make you think even more. And I'm sure for Derek Holland, knowing that Robinson Chirinos has seen every trick that he has in the book, that he could be overthinking this at bat a little bit.
Now behind 2-0. So Chirinos with the upper hand here at the moment. One of the things about Holland, when you break down the numbers this year, he's going to his fastball a lot less frequently. He puts that one on the corner for a strike. 2-1 the count. Even he has addressed that. Those numbers aren't lost on Derek, but it says he feels like he's got largely the same approach, wants to be aggressive.
What's that bat all of a sudden is hit a snail's pace here for Derek Holland and Robinson Chirinos, and we know he's having the great offensive year, but it's just turning into a massive overthink.
Yeah, he's deliberated extensively between pitches. Whoa, whoa, that rocket down the third base side just about got Gomez. Gomez, who had to miss a couple of games with a bad back, he showed some great flexibility there.
He did. Much better than when Time of the Sorta had to deal with that one
man.
foul line. But watch Gomez here, and you know what? It wasn't even that close, was it?
Nope.
That is going to be great clubhouse material right there. Because when you first watch it live from here in the booth, well, that almost got him. When you watch the replay, and I don't know, I StatCast at about 8 to 10 feet. That ball was from him. Would you agree?
Yeah, easy, easy. But listen, I don't blame him, right?
Yeah.
If it's that close, coming that fast, I'm moving too.
That is fantastic.
That gave a little extra time for Narvaez and Holland to get together between the mound and home plate. So even more discussion on what to do here with Chirinos. 2 out, 2-minute scoring position. And strike 3 call. 4th strikeout for Derek Holland so far. But Rangers get a run back. It's a 2-1 game. Jason Vargas continuing his run for the Royals. 12th win. He's won 7 in a row. Mike Zunino, after 4 RBIs in April and May for the Mariners, had a Major League Best 31 in the month of June, which ended yesterday. And John Farrell missing a game today as a skipper of the Red Sox to go watch his son Luke make his big league debut.
Pretty cool.
In Kansas City.
Your son making his Major League debut. That's a pretty awesome thing to be able to say.
Unusual, right? You don't see baseball guys miss baseball for much.
No. I think it's changing a little bit, though.
Well, I should say.
Starting to see some trends.
Fly ball center field. Gomez waiting on it, and Engel retired quickly for the first out of the second inning. So good beginning to this one.
Used to be you wouldn't leave, for anything. You get it? I mean, John Farrell, played with him, former teammate of mine, manager now of the Red Sox, of course, managed the Blue Jays as well, was originally pitching coach with the Red Sox, so he's built up a lot of equity with that organization. So it came up. I wonder if he asked or if somebody suggested it. Right? That's one of those things too, where Dave Dombrowski very well could have went to him and said, hey, if you want to do it, go ahead. Because a lot of times guys wouldn't even think to ask. I'm not sure if it's the right thing, but it'd be pretty special. I can't imagine the nerves. I mean, just watching your kids play baseball in general.
Sure.
It brings some anxiety. Now go ahead and do it in front of, 30, 40,000 people on television as well. That audience. It's probably a whole different kind of nervous.
Narvaez takes a strike. It's 1-1 from Cole Hamels. Hamels retired 3 in a row after the Abreu home run last inning, and then he hit Todd Frazier. Since settled in a little bit. Two balls and a strike on Narvaez. Narvaez had a start yesterday. Went 1 for 4.
I mentioned he is the only true lefty in this lineup today, and it makes sense. Cole Hamels has done a very nice job. 192 batting average against coming into this game. No home runs against lefties.
This one served down the left field line, and it is foul. Long strike makes it 2-2. Well, the 4th of July uniforms, you can see the difference today. Caps a little bit tweaked. You see the numbers, and then you were talking earlier about the socks. And it seems like, last 5 years or so, all of us have been really pressured to up the sock game, the dress socks. Man alive. This takes it to an entirely different level.
I don't know who started that, what company threw that out there and forced it on us, but they're probably doing pretty well for themselves right now.
Hamels 2-2 to Narvaez, and he misses to run the count full. I've noticed with even my kids, young kids around the neighborhood, it's no longer enough to have the loudest, craziest socks. They've decided, well, what the heck? Let's just wear 2 completely different socks. So maybe that's where this is coming from. Bouncer up the middle, Andrus to his left. Nice spin move, and the throw to first. Gets Narvaez by several steps. 2 away in the second inning.
Nice play here by Andrus, and he makes it look so easy, and it is anything but he got the nice hop up high, spin, and you mentioned the perfect throw there to Mike Napoli. I'll say this, though, for Narvaez, a couple of good swings against Cole Hamels. He hit that ball foul pretty firmly, that one right up the middle, so he looks pretty comfortable in the left on left at bat.
Certainly more comfortable than Garcia, just appeared right there. Started his swing, couldn't stop. Willie Garcia, 247 average. Sub 300 with the on-base percentage. 1-1 the count. He was a part of the 9th inning rally last night. Garcia with a very big hit with 1 out. And then was lifted for a pinch runner a little later in the inning, the 1-1. So CJ, in an era now where home runs dominate, strikeouts are accepted as commonplace for any hitter. fascinates me a little bit Cole Hamels' numbers. Only 16 strikeouts this year in 37 innings coming in. He does have a strikeout this afternoon. Just interesting to see the evolution of a guy now 33 years old, relying so much less on the strikeout now.
Yeah, and it's not like his stuff has come down either, right? It's one thing when you're CC Sabathia or Tim Lincecum went through it, right, where the fastball came down, the bite on the breaking ball came down, and they became more contact pitchers, and there was an adjustment period for those guys. I don't think that is necessarily the case here with Cole Hamels, who thought he just had his second strikeout of the game. So there's a lot of back and forth here between both Derek Collin and Cole Hamels. Pretty good, and hopefully an umpire Adrian Johnson. A little bit down. It's close.
They'll cut back on your strikeouts, though, when you throw them in the zone and they're called balls.
That definitely does not help.
3-2 and a comebacker, and that one handled by Odor deep at second. Long throw in time, and they get Garcia to end the second. We played 2. It's 2-1 Chicago.
Of 2-1, and you got to celebrate the 4th of July with America's pastime and head out to the ballpark when your Rangers will take on the Boston Red Sox. That game is at 7:05 p.m. Enjoy 4th of July fireworks after the game, presented by Honda. Tickets available at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS.
All right, 2 in the books, and we go to the 3rd. Top of the order here for the Rangers. And Delano DeShields takes a strike from Derek Holland. How about Holland? 4 strikeouts so far. All 4 looking.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. He actually has not had that many swinging strikes so far in this game as far as swings and misses go. But yeah, he does have the 4 strikeouts. Now he has been really trying to work the corners all day. We mentioned the lefty on lefty in that strike zone opening up a little bit, but you see this one here, I gotta tell you, I'm really surprised. We've seen this call a couple of times into a righty. Mike Napoli had one as well, and that's something Cole Hamels needs to take note of, because obviously he is a lefty as well. If that's the call that is being given, you gotta take advantage of it.
Adrian Johnson, veteran umpire, behind the plate today. Didn't give it that time, interestingly enough.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Listen, strike zones are always going to vary, and pitchers will tell you all day long, it's fine. It's okay. We know that. As long as they're consistent. Is that really part of the game to kind of establish and figure out where the calls are being made? You just can't be bouncing around all over the place. And so if you throw a ball that you know is 3 inches inside, but you're getting that called strike, well, when you go there again, especially in a big spot, you're going to get frustrated if you don't get that call.
Full count now on DeShields. Derek Holland already bumping up close to 50 pitches on the afternoon. And this one hit high in the air. center field. Engel is back. He's onto the warning track, and he will make the catch for out number 1. We've seen DeShields now with a couple of real good swings on Holland.
Yeah. It's gotten into Delino DeShields today. He hasn't gotten a hit yet on any of these, but a couple of big fly balls. That one there to center, left center. We saw one that was foul and he gave a ride. That's not his game. I mentioned this coming into this one for him. 500 batting average when he hits the ball on the ground. Much as we talk about these fly balls and everyone getting excited about the home runs, Delino DeShields does it by, of course, drawing corner infielders in. But when he hits the ball on the ground, he's getting on 500 clip. It's pretty good. It's like half the time.
Yeah, almost. That's pretty good. So with 1 away, here is Elvis Andrus. Holland got Andrus on a little check swing comebacker in the first inning. Almost got him to hit that one as well. Our TXU Energy Power player to watch is Elvis Andrus. How about this road trip for Elvis? 3 homers, a .412 average. And he hits this ball high in the air, center field, similar spot. Engel doesn't have to go quite as deep this time, and there are 2 away. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's send it back to Rick Renner. All right, thanks, Rick, and happy Canada Day to you.
That was yesterday, right?
I thought it was today.
It was?
I don't know. I mean,
it is today. My bad. Sorry. 150 years.
Oh, is that right?
I think so. I got a bunch of Canadian friends. I saw them tweeting about it. I guess it was late last night, so into today.
2 away for Nomar Mazar now, who takes a strike. So you probably just mailed your candidate cards early so they'd arrive.
That's what I usually
yesterday.
Give it about 3 days ahead of time. Usually just a postcard. I keep it simple.
Okay. Practical. That's good. Mazar struck out looking in the first. Holland is, well, the Rangers to just 1 run so far.
Ooh.
Little bouncer over the mound. Boy, that was a scary one. Anderson there at shortstop throws out Mazara, completing a 1-2-3 inning for Derek Holland, his second of the afternoon. We've played 2.5. It's 2-1. Lots of sunshine on this Saturday afternoon. South side of Chicago, guaranteed rate field. Our Kubota power stats today are concerning Cole Hamels. Hamels, 4 starts against the White Sox. How about that? 25 strikeouts to 1 walk. That's a good ratio, CJ.
Pretty good. If you like being successful, that's the route that you're going to want to go. And I see 25 and 23 in the third innings. And you're just talking about the strikeouts down a little bit so far this year for Cole Hamels. Again, not alarming for me necessarily. Of course, he missed a pretty good amount of time, so that's part of it as well. We'll see how things go for him now that he's healthy and back, and we're looking at essentially the last 3 months of the season. We'll see if he can recover, kind of get those strikeouts back up.
Well, he trails 2-1 in this third inning. In his first pitch, that one is ripped foul by Tim Anderson. It'll be Anderson, Melky Cabrera, and Jose Abreu. Oh, and 2 now to Anderson, who grounded out in the first inning.
Check this out. I've never seen this before. So this guy obviously works for the White Sox. He's got some cold water in his bug sprayer, and he's misting off the fans. And that guy right in his face. Ever see it?
Not at the ballpark. Well, one hopper to second base, and Odor takes care of Anderson.
I mean, he's just allowed to walk around and just spray people. You don't even have to ask them if they want it.
No, it's not that he's allowed to do it. He's paid to do it.
That's fantastic.
I think they really want to do it right. They just give him a squirt gun.
Yeah, now you're talking. You could probably use that in Arlington. What do you think? It has a tendency to get a little warm.
It can get warm. So you would love a little mist right now. It was only 83 degrees here at game time, although it'll get a little warmer as the afternoon wears on. We've been, I mean, it's been a little surprising the weather that we've run across, especially as we've run through the Midwest here on this road trip. Been really unseasonably cool. This the first day of July, however. The count 1-1 to Cabrera. You definitely feel the summer and the weather turning to the cool heat. 1-1 from Hamels. Topper goes foul. Cabrera had the double in the first inning. Was followed shortly thereafter by the home run by Jose Abreu. Those are the only hits so far today off Hamels, who has retired 6 in a row now. This one up under the seats, foul. Cabrera with a .281 batting average coming into play today. And we're talking about the numbers that he has against Hamels. He's now 9 for 23 against him, so he definitely has some comfort up there, and he swings and misses strike 3. Second strikeout today for Hamels.
And Hamels really handled this at bat very well after the double that we saw from Melky Cabrera, elevating the fastball. Even though he wanted that up and in, he still got it above the zone. That's what's most important. We'll see and talk about guys when they miss with the fastball, when they're trying to elevate. As long as you continue to have that ball up and don't get it back down in the strike zone. Cole Hamels did a nice job of adjusting from what he saw in the first at bat to getting Cabrera in this one. And we'll have that same challenge with Jose Abreu.
Abreu with the home run in the first inning. Means that not only is he homered in back-to-back games at home after not homering here all year. It's the third time this year that he has homered in back-to-back games. And he is that kind of guy, right? I mean, he can get hot on you, and when he does, look out. 15 home runs now this year.
At first at bat, Cole Hamels fell behind 2-0 through a changeup, which is a good idea in a changeup count. But Abreu has been so good against lefties that he was ready for it.
Comebacker, Hamels with a good reach to snare it, throws over to first, and he completes another 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 8 straight as we go to the 4th inning. you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer now during the Ford Summer Sales Event and see why Ford is the best in Texas. 3 innings in the books as we cruise down the Chicago River and into guaranteed rate field. Adrian Beltre leading it off here in the 4th inning. It's not really a direct shot, but it seems like it sometimes on TV. There's a little bouncer at third base. Frazier with the charge, the lob, and it was in time to get Beltre. Really had to change his trajectory down the line, but one away. That was almost a disaster for like everybody.
Todd Frazier just kind of babied this throw a little bit, and it almost got away from him as he threw it softly. You watch him here field it. He knows he has plenty of time with Adrian Beltre running, but he still decided to go ahead and kind of make the throw on the run instead of setting his feet. And almost got ugly there, but good job by Jose Abreu and Adrian Beltre to avoid catastrophe.
One gone, and here is Carlos Gomez. And that one finds the inside corner. Gomez was hit by the pitch in the 2nd inning. One of the 2nd inning in which the Rangers once again loaded the bases with nobody out. Then a strikeout, a ground out, and another strikeout limited them to just 1 run in the inning.
At least a positive sign here so far for the Rangers. As much as they have been swinging and missing over the course of the season, we know that's been an issue. Jeff Bannister was even talking about the strikeouts last night. Their swing and miss percentage was the 2nd worst in Major League Baseball coming into the series. They've only swung and missed 2 pitches so far against Derek Collins. So that's some good news, at least on the positive side.
Yeah, interesting, because we also talked about Holland has 4 strikeouts, but all 4 looking. So he's gotten some calls today. And on that one, 2-2 to Gomez. Holland, the longtime Ranger, and he was kind of excited for this series. Chance to see his old teammates. This one lined through into right field, a base hit for Gomez.
Fans, did you know that a Coca-Cola family pack offers savings of over 30% on tickets, food, Kids Zone access, souvenir programs, and Coke soft drinks? It's an ideal way to catch the Rangers and the Angels game on Sunday, July 9th. Make sure you visit TexasRangers.com/specials. What's everybody saying? Dave Raymond's number 1. Holding up their number 1s.
That's probably what they were doing. Gomez with good speed over there at first. And Holland, it's not lost on him. Odor walked in the 2nd inning, just the 13th time this year that he has done that. Holland made 158 starts for the Rangers, 8th most in club history. Odor turns that one foul. Derek with 62 wins, nearly 1,000 innings. 985, in fact, as a Ranger. So he's among the top 10 in a number of categories on the Rangers franchise all-time list. He has adapted well, though, and enjoyed his time here in Chicago, likes his team. It's been a struggle for the White Sox, 35-44. They're only 7.5 back of the Indians in the Central Division, but realistically, not a team really built to win right now.
No, and they won't do anything to try to get this team better. If anything, the roster will get weaker as we get closer to the deadline. They have the pieces that other teams are interested in trading for. Jose Quintana, who we will see tomorrow, David Robertson, maybe even Todd Frazier, who is a free agent at the end of the year. So even though you look at the division, you say, well, they're only 7.5 back. That sounds pretty good. The Rangers are 14.5 back right now. It is a different kind of division. You look at the wild card, you realize, no, this is not a team that is likely to contend.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Odor. A rookie with a home run yesterday, giving him 13 now for the year. 34 RBIs for him. He's got Gomez at first with 1 out. This one popped up third base side, foul ground. Frazier over, and there's not quite enough room for him. So 2-2. It will remain on Odor. Mike Napoli waits on deck. When we talk about Derek Holland and all the things that he accomplished as a Ranger, I think most people would circle that 2011 World Series. His 2-hitter in 8 1/3 innings against the Cardinals, is this one fouled back. And Odor keeps it going. Which at the time was just 25 years old. And that was really a somewhat historic postseason start.
See that there, right there, the fake break from Carlos Gomez and what he's trying to do there. That's not a bad jump and him changing his mind, but he's looking at the count and thinking there's a chance an off-speed pitch could be down in the zone, and the idea there is to maybe get the catcher a little bit jumpy, right? Seeing in the corner of his eye, it looks like Carlos Gomez is going, right? So the Rangers are betting that maybe Derek Holland is going to throw, his slider or his curveball. They're going to try to throw it down in the zone to get Roogie to chase it. Well, if that catcher pops up a little bit, they may be able to get a pass ball or a wild pitch, and then that would give Carlos Gomez an opportunity to go down to second base. So that's intentional when they do that. Go hard and then stop. See if they can trick the catcher into maybe coming out of his crouch a little bit early and a ball getting away from him. And you do that in strikeout counts, maybe 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, where you think maybe they're going to try to bury an off-speed pitch down below the zone.
Well, Holland slows down just a little bit here. Gomez with a nice lead. And more attention from Derek.
And the other thing, too, is that the pitcher sees that in front of him. You see that fake break, and then all of a sudden now maybe Derek Holland a little bit more concerned with Carlos Gomez than he was previously. So a lot of different games that go on inside the game. Trying to mess with your pitcher, trying to mess with the catcher, trying to get a guy in a scoring position.
Foul back our way and into the booth just to our right. Wow.
Told you.
Steve Stone, you all right? Everybody okay?
And landed in the booth. Nobody got hurt. That one came in hot. Right above both of those guys.
Everybody already passing blame to one another in that booth?
Of course. No accountability.
You got to get that. Well, Odor's put a good at bat on Holland here. 6 foul balls already in this at bat. Picks one in the dirt, and it's a full count. 2-1, Chicago leads. Odor has really made Holland work today in his 2 at bats. Oh, this will be number 10. For a guy noted as a very free swinger, will strike out a little bit. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, and that one up the middle and off the glove of Anderson. Caroms to second. Sanchez throws to first. And how about that play? What a great recovery by Sanchez at second base. That is an error on Anderson.
And what a strange play. First of all, I thought this might have clipped Derek Holland. It did not. It missed him. And then you see Anderson just could not come up with it cleanly, and probably thinking about trying to make too many things happen at once. That ball was scorched and hit hard, and they might have been thinking double play. But first things first, you have to catch the baseball cleanly to make that double play happen, and it did not.
It cut the back of the mound, and I think that made for a tough bounce for Anderson. And what a weird play. But a break nonetheless for the Rangers. Couple of men on the error. Gomez at second, Odor at first. And a mound conversation with Renteria. Bringing everybody in for this one. So that's interesting. Napoli coming up.
Even though that goes down as an error, that's a really nice at bat by Rougned Odor. First and foremost, the fact that it took 10 pitches, and over the course of those 10 pitches, we did not see a single swing and miss. And then he also hit the ball hard. And that's after a walk that he had in the first inning, second inning. So good at bats here so far today for Rougned Odor.
All right, so Napoli now. I couldn't tell. Was that Cooper who went out there, or was that Renteria?
I didn't look.
On that mound visit, I was just looking at the dugout. They're sitting there right by each other, both wearing some sort of blue pullover over their unis. Anyway, Napoli takes that one off the plate. 1-1 the count. Napoli struck out looking in the second inning. Another lengthy at bat. How about 72 pitches now for Holland? So he has had to toil a little bit in the sunshine. Gets a strike call. 1-2.
And by the way, that was the 19th error for Tim Anderson at shortstop this year. He had 14 all of last year. Now, he only played in 98 games at shortstop, but here in his 70th game, he's already been well past what he did a year ago. So the fielding actually going in the opposite direction for him.
Napoli lays off 2-2. Well, and for Holland, it's an ongoing story for him. 11 unearned runs this year. So errors, misplays behind him have caused him a lot of trouble. He's allowed 50 total runs, but only 39 of those earned runs. That can mean a lot of different things. Swing and a miss. He gets Napoli 2 away in the 4th inning. One of those things is it could mean that a guy hasn't found the way to bear down after a mistake behind him. But he gets a big strikeout there.
Let's take a look at what Derek Holland has done, and the Rangers have done a good job of getting that pitch count up. Outside of that 3rd inning, everything else has been pretty high. Derek Holland, a guy who's averaging 17.4 pitches per inning pitch this year. It's a high number for him. League average 16.6. So he's a guy that will throw some pitches, but the Rangers have done an excellent job so far today. Now, it's great and all, but the bottom line is scoring runs in this game. So it's only been 1 run that they've been able to score in those 76 pitches.
Yeah, still the biggest stat that they track. Runs scored. Which makes sense. 1 run in so far. Came in on a ground out. They have 2 men on here. And Lucroy, who drove in that run at the plate. A little spin and a throw back to second, and they picked off Gomez. Oh boy. Tough way for the 4th inning to win.
Well, this was a planned play by the White Sox as they slide in right behind the aggressive Carlos Gomez. And another situation where the hand goes into the foot, the base was blocked. back and look at this play with Carlos Gomez, and you're going to see the second baseman Sanchez just take off for second base. This is the timing play. This is pre-planned. This is not looking for daylight like you might see from the shortstop. As you see Derek Collins spin and throw, and when you put this play on, you look out at your shortstop or your second baseman, you come set, kind of just do a one count to yourself. You spin and you throw, and they executed it perfectly. Now, Carlos Gomez would have gotten back in time, but Sanchez's foot was in front of the bag, and so his hand hit the bag, or hit his foot, excuse me, instead of the bag, and that's why he was tagged out. And you'll see it here one more time. Watch this slide. You see the right foot. And Gomez unfortunately caught the foot and not the bag, and that's why he was tagged out. And I say again because we saw that with Joey Gallo and Edwin Encarnacion at first base when we were in Cleveland. I don't think there's intent there by an infielder that's trying to necessarily put his foot in front of the bag. He's just trying to get there and get the tag down. But a couple of times where that has worked against the Rangers.
Well, a tough way for the inning to end nonetheless. And the bottom of the fourth starts with Todd Frazier. He gets ahead 2-0 here. Even yesterday, was it Gomez trying to steal second base, and he went diving headlong into second. Got his hand in there. It looked like, pretty well. He didn't get the bag. He got the glove. That's part of the gig, man. You're obviously trying to get the ball and the tag down in front of the runner, but putting a foot or a leg down there in front of it makes all the sense in the world. 3-0. And a strike to Frazier.
You look at our pitch tracks and you can see exactly what Cole Hamels is trying to do with Todd Frazier. Pounding him in. He hit him on the foot with a slider earlier back in the first inning, and you see him trying to go in again.
This one lifted out to left, back to the wall, and there to make the catch. DeShields hauls it in. Frazier turned back, and he just missed. Hey, the Rangers are excited to bring you the first ever Game of Thrones theme night. It's going to be Wednesday, July 5th. Rangers and Red Sox is the game. But if you buy this ticket, it comes with a limited edition House Bannister bobblehead. Plus, you can take your picture on the Iron Throne. Tickets must be purchased through TexasRangers.com/Game of Thrones. All right, Davidson swings and misses at strike one. Davidson 0 for 1. Struck out in the first inning. One of just 2 strikeouts today for Hamels. Bouncer third base, and that one foul. So he's suddenly in an 0-2 count. And we talked a little bit about Davidson's power earlier. 17 home runs, third among major league rookies. But he struck out a lot. 96 strikeouts for Davidson. That's been a big part of the story as well. Renteria trying to rest him on occasion, slow that roll down just a little bit.
I don't know what the solution is, because it's a common conversation, right? We keep hearing it, saying, strikeouts are getting a little bit too high, and even though they've been more accepted, it's also like, it doesn't mean you're super excited about it as a manager or even an executive. But how do you have a guy continue to show you the power numbers that you want while at the same time cutting down the strikeouts? It's pretty tough to do. And you start looking at the guys that hit for average and for power, and you're talking about some of the best the game has to offer.
And there is another strikeout. So Davidson down looking, 2 away in the 4th inning.
Good execution here by Cole Hamels. And look at Jonathan Lucroy's glove, Robinson Chirinos, and you see exactly that ball landing in that glove, exactly where he wanted. That's a nice idea right there. Elevating up and into those righties, especially after showing him some other pitches away. So we talk about it, wondering, what's going on with Cole Hamels and the strikeouts. There's nothing in his stuff that you look at. I think it's just maybe more about the command in the zone a little bit early on for him and getting himself in those potential strikeout counts.
Working to Yolmer Sanchez. Fouls that one off at an angle that seems almost impossible. The count 1-1. Sanchez flied out of the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Today playing second base. Yesterday Sanchez was at shortstop. And again, fouls this one up. Very similar spot. It's 1-2. With the 3 strikeouts, he's got a number of fly ball outs, some ground ball outs as well. And the only thing that's hurt him is that one swing by Abreu.
Not sure I've ever seen an infielder that far, or a batter that far into the infield after fouling a ball off his leg and trying to walk it off.
Where is he going?
I mean, he has a ton of gear on both of his legs. Or just the one. I'm sorry, I got flew by the sock.
Well, he seems to. The trajectory is right now straight down on that front leg. That's where he seems to keep hitting it. A bouncer this time to the left side. Beltre is there and handles it. Throws out Sanchez, and that will do it. Yeah, that's 11 in a row for Cole Hamels. The count as we go to the 5th inning. And hey, take a trip to Margaritaville Friday, July 7th. Rangers and Angels. Our pregame tailgate party will include live music, cold drinks, and Margaritaville-inspired Rangers t-shirt. Postgame fireworks set to Jimmy Buffett's music after the game, and your tickets are available. TexasRangers.com/theme nights. So here we go to the 5th. Lucroy, who was at the plate when things ended last inning, gets a new count and takes a strike from Holland. Lucroy 0 for 1 with the RBI ground out. It scored the run of the 2nd inning. And it is 1-1. Now he was just up there a moment ago with 1st and 2nd, but 2 out. When Gomez was picked off second base. Been another one of those weird days for this Rangers offense. An offense that, let's face it, I mean, they score runs. This team scores a lot of runs. Say what you will about the strikeouts, the home runs. They put up some numbers.
7th best in baseball coming into the series. 4.94 runs per game. The 7th best offense. 7th best offense when you start talking about what kind of production are you getting? And we're far enough into the season where you're not going to say, well, a couple of games where you had some big run totals and that kind of skews things. That's not the case at all. The Rangers know how to score runs. You and I were talking about, well, there's been some games where they scored a bunch early, maybe not as much late because some of the bullpen struggles. That's a lot of other teams to come back and win games late. But it's the bottom line here. The offense has done a pretty good job. The batting average is low. We know that. But the home runs, 7th best. The runs per game, 7th best. Stolen bases have been really good. 2nd in the league coming into the series.
Lucroy fouls this one away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last year, the talk all year outside of Arlington was how is this Rangers team doing it? Last year won the most games in the American League. 95 wins. First time they have accomplished that feat in franchise history. And it's a full count on Lucroy. And most people pointed to the run differential being the sort of the biggest question mark. They had at times a positive run differential. I don't know, a couple runs. It never really got too lopsided. And through all the wins by 1 run, there were all the late comeback, come from behind wins, like 49 of those. And a lot of outside folks kept saying, well, it's good fortune, it's good luck, and it's not sustainable. Now, it was sustainable for 95 wins.
I don't think it's luck. I think if you have a team that plays well in close games, you're probably getting timely hitting, and your bullpen is doing a really good job in close spots. That's probably more of the story. I know a lot of people will say that and feel like there's luck involved. There certainly is in this game at times. When you're talking about consistently winning 1-run games, it tells me you're executing when it matters the most.
So Lucroy at first pitch swinging. Chirino sends one high in the air. Center field though, Engel with room, and he tracks it down 1 away.
Ranger fans, make sure you come out for an autograph session with Robinson Chirinos Wednesday, July 5th at 10:30 a.m. It's going to be at 125 Sycamore School Road in Fort Worth. And while there, sign up to be the Whataburger What a Fan, and you can win tickets to a Rangers game and Whataburger for a year. Visit TexasRangers.com/appearances for more information.
1 out, Lucroy at first. So this year the run differential, I just saw some numbers thrown up the other day that caught my attention. The Yankees and the Astros both with absurd run differentials this year. 116 in the positive for Houston, 112 for the Yankees. Little bunt put out in front of the plate. Nice job by DeShields. A throw to first in time. Narvaez just does get DeShields. And Lucroy goes to second, but Gabe Morales, third base umpire, coming down the line and having a conversation with Adrian Johnson.
They're calling potential interference here, I got to believe, maybe on Delino DeShields, and it sounds like and looks like Jonathan Lucroy might get sent back to first base. We got to see what's going on. Or was it just called a foul ball? That's what it was. So we'll get a look at whether or not this ball bounced up and actually hit Delino DeShields, and I think that's what the call that was made. There we go. Let's take a peek here. I don't know if we're going to be able to see much from here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you see it hit the bat twice. That's the side right there. You can see right there, clear as day. That's a good call. It's certainly not one that is easy to make. Give some credit where credit is due.
Yeah, no, that's pretty astute. So DeShields back at the plate. And the count 0-1. Lucroy with his lead, and Delino holds off. That one a little bit outside. It looked like it may have bounced up right near that left hand, maybe even touched the hand. Just the way he released the bat almost made me think that was the case.
But it glanced, right? I mean, that's the thing that's so amazing is that they see that, and it's not even like Gabe Morales at third base had the greatest angle.
No, in fact, he should almost have the worst angle.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Cooper at first would have had a better look at that. Don't give these guys credit for getting it right.
A good veteran crew here, headed by Gary Cederstrom, our crew chief at second. Lucroy with his lead again. And there's a strike to count 2-2. Anyway, back to the run differential. Rangers came into today at a positive 17. That is 10th best in Major League Baseball. Now the Dodgers, by the way, positive 147. Are you kidding me? And so, point being, the Rangers have done a really decent job in that respect. And in fact, a couple of days ago, it was a whole lot better. That 15-9 loss was a tough one in Cleveland for the run differential. But in that respect, they've been really good this year. Last year, the Rangers finished the season. Now, this was a 95-win season last year with a -4 run differential.
So it was sustained.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do it.
Runner goes. There's a swing, and that one is right by second base. That's a hit out into the alley. Lucroy to third. They're going to wave him to the plate. No relay offered. A double for Delino DeShields, and he has tied this game at 2. Hit and run was on, and it opened up just enough of a hole.
Yeah, perfect call here by Jeff Bannister, and great execution by Delino DeShields as the second baseman Sanchez started making his way towards second base to cover the bag, and you see a little slider that's over the plate, and you see him, Sanchez, that is trying to dive back and get that ball. Nice job by Jonathan Lucroy running those bases as well.
So another visit to the mound
by Don Cooper.
Those are great trash bags they're wearing over the units.
Similar body type. Here's where you go.
They're both big guys.
Rick Renteria has
whiter hair.
Whiter hair. That's your go-to. But you're right. Similar build, exact same uni, old school top.
There's Rick. There's Cooper. Rick. Cooper.
I'm gonna do little flashcards with you.
I'm telling you, man.
That's fair.
You got to be on top of it.
Yep. Small margin for error in that situation.
So Andrus 0 for 2. Man at second. 1 out here. And the game just tied by the DeShields double. Man, Sanchez was just angling toward the bag. Stopped, made the adjustment, but missed that ball by just a fraction. Delino bluffs off second base, and it is 1-1.
They were not keeping Delino DeShields close at all. Nobody really holding him. Now Sanchez has slid in a little bit more and has gotten a little bit closer. Obviously, Delino has to be careful after what you saw from Carlos Gomez in that timed called pickoff play that ultimately got Gomez and ended the 4th inning.
This ball hit high in the air left field. Cabrera ranging back, ball carrying well at the wall, and that one is gone. Just enough to get out. A 2-run homer by Elvis Andrus. And so for the first time today, the Rangers lead.
Well, it looked like Elvis might have got under this pitch when we first saw it, and it was up in the air for a long time, but he had great carry on this thing. He hit it hard and hit it hard just enough, and another pitch that comes back over the middle of the plate, and it was a slider that they were trying to throw backdoor, but instead it ended up coming right back over the middle, and Melky Cabrera had a legitimate chance at catching that ball and just missed it. And Elvis Andrus certainly happy that was the case.
Now Mazzara, and he takes a big cut at strike 1.
I've said it a lot, man. We'll keep seeing it. The backdoor stuff. The ball comes back over the middle of the plate. You're asking for trouble. What Derek Holland was trying to do in that spot is basically get a called strike. And the pitch, it starts off, stays off, and then catches the corner. But he pulled it a little bit too much, and then it just was a fat pitch in the middle of the plate for Elvis Andrus.
So a 3-run 5th inning. Off the handle, flared out towards center, caught by Anderson, ranging to his left. Well positioned, Tim Anderson able to take that one away from Nomar Mazara. And now here's Adrian Beltre. How about those RBI numbers for Andrus?
He is making a push. This all-star situation will certainly get interesting, not just who's voted in, but the secondary guys as well. Elvis Andrus is really making his case among those American League shortstops.
Beltre didn't like the wait. Already has a hit today, 1 for 2. This one lined to third, and Frazier is there. Beltre robbed by his opposite number. Inning is over, but the Rangers pick up 3 runs. Elvis Andrus with number 11 on the year, just enough to get out. Rangers lead it 4-2.
Leading the White Sox here in Chicago thanks to a 2-run home run by Elvis Andrus. And in talking to Elvis today after he hit that 20 steal mark last night, asked him about some feasible numbers to finish the year off. I said, how about 40 steals and 20 home runs? He had one word in response, and it was oof. I think he'd like that.
Yeah, that'd be good. Why don't we throw in 100 RBIs?
I mean, just keep getting greedy while you're at it. That would be something.
Today is the midpoint of the season. 81 games played after today. And currently sitting on 11 homers, 49 RBIs, 20 steals. As Hamels comes inside. And it is 1-1 on Engel. 19th round pick out of Louisville. In 2013, and the next offering a little bit low. Engel, Narvaez, and Willie Garcia, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Chicago in this 5th inning. Broken bat, soft liner over third, and Beltre was in position to field the barrel of that bat. But it's a strike. 2-2. What was left of the barrel anyway.
This thing was sliced right in half. Seen a lot of that as well. Last few days, some broken bats going back at pitchers. You know what? Emily threw that out there. I mean, gotta look, gotta know, right? Shortstop since 1950.
All right.
Go 2040. Just how many do you think?
20 home runs
as a shortstop.
Ooh. Since 1950?
Yeah, I just did kind of 50 arbitrarily. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see it before that.
4.
That is incorrect. The answer is 3. Alex Rodriguez, not surprising, back in 1998 with the Mariners. Jimmy Rollins, 2007 with the Phillies, and Hanley Ramirez also pulled that trick in 2007 with the then Florida Marlins. So that is a big oof. Let me throw that out there to Elvis.
Chopper's shortstop. Elvis is there for this one. Throws across in time to get Engel one away. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's send it back to the studios again to Rick Renner. All right, thanks, Rick. One away here in the 5th inning. Cole Hamels. He is retired 12 straight now. So really starting to settle in. Deals ball 1 to Narvaez.
Well, looking at that. Yeah, looking at that a little bit, you kind of forget the type of player Hanley Ramirez was at the beginning of his career. The year he did that, 51 stolen bases.
There was a time in the National League where I felt like he hit the ball consistently, maybe the hardest in the league. Now, that was pre-StatCast. But
so there's nothing official about it.
Nothing
just
official. Totally anecdotal. But man, he never had the flare hit, the dribbler, the seeing eye single, and even his outs were so loud. Now he's changed his game a little bit. You're right too. He brought that speed back then as well.
Back-to-back years of 51 stolen bases.
Yeah.
Never saw 40 again. 9 last year, 1 this year.
2-2. Narvaez, who was grounded out earlier today.
Well, I think it's something to keep an eye on here with Elvis. It's kind of fun. You think about only 3 guys that have done it. 20 home runs, 40 stolen bases.
He's already at a career best in home runs at 11 now. And a bouncing ball, first base, handled by Napoli, and he will easily retire Narvaez 2 away. Well, tomorrow we'll wrap up this series as we take a look at our progressive upcoming schedule. Another day game here in Chicago. Then it's back home. Red Sox for 3. Day of rest on Thursday, and then the Angels in town for a weekend series to wrap up the figurative first half. Time for the All-Star break.
So literal today.
Literal today, figurative next Sunday. Right?
Yeah.
Big swing and a miss by Willie Garcia with 2 out, nobody on in the 5th inning. Misses up and away. As a player, was there on occasion those summers where you were like, oh yeah, come on, All-Star break, I'll take 3 or 4 here?
You know what? Yes and no. You like the break, but quite honestly, I don't like having that many days off in the middle of the season. As a reliever, I'm sure you get tired. The day off is kind of nice when you get them, but I never liked having 3 or the times that you would get 4 off. Always struggled the first game or 2 back, felt out of sync.
Would you do a little throwing during the break?
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, 1 day off max. A little catch, depending on what you did. More often than I would leave town, go back home maybe. Teaching my wife, to be honest with you, she was a softball player in college. So I can play catch with her. Keep the arm sharp. Or if there's other guys in town, catch up with them. But you know, most teams will have that workout. Some make it optional, some make it mandatory. That last day of the All-Star break, that you have a workout with your team.
pop up down the right side. Mazzara is there, and it completes another 1-2-3 inning. Hey, Cole Hamels retired 14 in a row. Really settling in. Rangers lead by 2. Slam inning brought to you by Sonic Drive-In. Our jackpot today worth $1,400 plus dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. And the Rangers are hitting for Barbara Puleo of St. Louis, Missouri. So if a Ranger hits a home run this inning, Barbara wins $1,400. If it's a grand slam, Barbara will win $25,000. Good luck, Barbara. Gomez, Odor, Napoli in the 6th inning. Rangers leading it 4-2.
Kind of like Barbara's chances right now. Think about Derek Collins starting to fatigue a little bit. He seems like he might be one mistake away from calling it an afternoon. And Carlos Gomez would be the perfect guy to run into that mistake.
Gomez today is hit by a pitch. He's also singled. It looks like Chris Beck getting ready out there. We saw Chris Beck for a long time last night.
Got a real good look at Chris Beck yesterday.
Yeah, he pitched 4 innings in 2/3 of an inning.
29 pitches, felt like him.
0-2.
Was part of that 44-minute 6th inning yesterday. The entire inning, not just half. Not that that makes it excusable.
Hollins 0-2. Missed by a whole lot there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I don't know why you look at 101 pitches for Holland. I feel like he's kind of gotten that a little bit under control last couple innings. I'm sure I'm wrong. There was a time, I want to say much earlier in the game, I was like, man, he's like at 72 pitches in the 3rd inning. I couldn't have imagined him getting to this point of the game.
He had a couple of big ones, no doubt. And again, interesting. So it's been now a total of 5 swings and misses from Derek Collins, which is certainly a really good sign here for the Rangers. And they're playing a good game and have put a lot of good at-bats together against him. But he's hanging in there. He continues to battle here in the 6th inning.
Upstairs again. And that'll even things at 2-2 on Carlos Gomez. Rangers got 3 runs last inning and changed the direction of this game completely. There's strike 3 called. Gomez down looking to start the 6th. And Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Homes for Our Troops, building mortgage-free, specially adapted homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Learn more about how Homes for Our Troops is rebuilding lives and visit foxsportsupports.com. 1 out. And here is Odor, who has walked and reached on an error. Odor coming off the big season last year. Expectations very high coming into this season. Signed the big contract just before opening day. And the power numbers continue to be there for him. The average and on base are a bit low, but that's sort of always been his game. Hits one sharply on the ground, first base side. Nice play by Abreu, but Holland can't get to first in time. And Odor is on with an infield hit, a smile and a chuckle for Derek Holland. It didn't look like he was reciprocating.
No, and good job by Rougned Odor to be able to get there and beat Derek Holland. You know, had he reached out and tried to make a tag, you think he might have had a chance to get Rougned. And there was just that little bit of a pause on the part of Jose Abreu, and that's because Derek Holland was a little bit late getting over to first base.
So Odor is on, and this may well be it. Indeed, Holland will have to hand over the baseball, and he leaves, turns it over to his bullpen. It's a 4-2 Rangers lead. For the sixth inning. Hey, Oklahoma State fans, Fox Sports Southwest wants you to show your school spirit at a Texas Rangers game. Get discounted tickets for the Monday, July 3rd game against the Red Sox. You'll also get a free Rangers cap in cowboy orange and white. Go to texasrangers.com/OSU for details. All right, here's Chris Beck. 29th appearance of the season. As I mentioned, we saw him yesterday through 2/3 of an inning.
That was for you. That throw over to first base. He heard you talking about how long Chris Beck took in the last outing, so he's going to start it off with a pickoff attempt. Beck does have a good fastball, averages 95 miles an hour. You see slider, curve, and an occasional split finger.
He is on for Derek Holland. White Sox into that bullpen, a bullpen that has struggled on this homestand to a better than 6 earned run average.
We'll take a look at Chris Beck, and the first batter faced at opponent's average 286, which is up there a little bit. You certainly like to see your relievers lower than that. You say, well, 286 doesn't sound like a terrible batting average. It's not, but you think about coming in with runners on base, inheriting runners, trying to get that first batter out. He has been okay in those spots. And inherited runners, 16 taken on, 5 have scored, 31%, slightly below average.
Odor with a decent lead, not going anywhere. 1-1 to Napoli. 4-2 Rangers with a 3-run 5th inning, highlighted by the Elvis home run, a 2-run blast, his 11th already this year. Very high, throw that down to first, and no real shot to get Odor, but they are certainly more than aware of him down there. They seem, the White Sox, a little concerned about Rugi.
He's been a little bit aggressive with his secondary leads, and so that's why you see the backdoor pick at first base, but that wasn't even close. But they also, you do that as well to try to keep a runner close, shorten the lead, give yourself a better chance of turning a double play. Beck has gotten 6 of those so far this year. That ties him for the lead in this Chicago White Sox bullpen. Anthony Swarzak, who we saw last night in the 9th inning, who actually registered 3 strikeouts in his inning of work, also has 6 double plays.
Odor once again with a decent lead. Napoli swings, and it's this one high in the air left field. Cabrera got a late start going back, looks up, it is gone. Well, I don't know if he just totally misread that or if it got caught in some breeze up there, but that thing wasn't even close. 15th homer of the year, and it's a 6-2 Rangers lead.
Well, Mike Napoli crushed his baseball, and I think in the case of Melky Cabrera, I don't think he saw it. And Mike Napoli crushes this thing, and congratulations to Barbara, sitting in St. Louis, Missouri, $1,400 richer right now, all thanks to the Mike Napoli 90-degree launch angle home run.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, that thing was straight up in the air, but he crushed it.
Well, always fun to get a winner in our Sonic Slam innings, and it is a 6-2 lead. More importantly, Rangers with a little more breathing room, and Jonathan Lucroy takes ball 1. Lucroy has driven in a run and scored a run, one on a ground out, the other time he walked. Let's take another look. This thing was like straight up.
Looked like a little slider there that sat over the middle of the plate. We know this about Mike Napoli, as he takes those big hacks, and he'll hit that ball high in the air off. I don't think Cabrera saw it. I don't think he had a read on it, because I thought it had a chance off the bat. And I'm watching him like, I think this ball's over his head, and it was.
Lucroy serves it foul. 1-2 the count. Well, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but Cabrera in left field, he pulled a great deep the other night in their game against the Yankees, where he took back a home run. I mean, he made the catch right over the yellow line out there, but pretended as if it had gone into the seats. And in doing so, it crossed up a lot of people, had some fun with it. But it seems a little fanciful to think that he was trying to do the same thing there.
No, he didn't see it.
Strikeout by Lucroy, and there are 2 gone now in the 6th inning. They'll bring up Robinson Chirinos, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Chris Beck in relief, and by the way, that home run, you can close the book on Holland. Holland allowed the 5 runs today in his 5 1/3 innings work.
That was the 6th start for him out of his 16 where he's let up at least 5 runs or more. It really has been one of those years where he's either pitched really well, or he has had these kind of struggles where the run totals have really climbed on him. He's had only a couple of those kind of in between. He's had 7 starts with 1 earned run or less out of the 16. and now 6 of 5 or more.
That's a mixed bag right there.
Yeah, only 3 starts where he has led up more than 1, less than 5.
Ball and 2 strikes now on Chirinos. Two out, 6th inning, nobody on base. Rangers' only trip through Chicago this year. White Sox will be back down in Houston in mid to late August. That'll be a 4-game series. This one down low, 2-2. I was just glancing at the schedule the other day, because it occurred to me, boy, we have seen a lot of teams lately from the East and Central divisions. At home, on the road. When we come back after the All-Star break, it's a trip to Kansas City, Baltimore, and Tampa Bay. Everybody out of division. After that road trip, there's only one more American League team that is out of division that we will see on the road, and that will be the Minnesota Twins. Otherwise, the road trips will all be in the West or against a couple of National League foes. So the year was heavily loaded in the division at the front and at the back of the season, and that seems like a fair way to do it. As long as you're going to go with the imbalanced schedule, you should certainly end the season against one another.
Yeah, that's why I don't love that schedule. You know, you've heard me talk about it before. I really like the idea of playing every team in the American League an even amount of times, visiting every city twice. Those teams come to you twice. I think now that we have 2 wild cards and they matter, and it's down to the wire every single year, I think having that balanced schedule matters now more than ever. It's interesting what's going on in the American League, where you don't have any teams that are just awful. We talk about the White Sox and where they are, and they're not contending, but they're not a mile away from a wild card spot, where in the National League there's a lot of it.
Pop up by Chirinos, short center field. Weird read by Engel, who runs out from underneath his cap to make the play. Inning over.
But it's Mike Napoli who gets a slider that he can handle, and he hits it high, he hits it far, and it is number 15 on the year for Nap. Take a look at our Ford game summary. You see what's going on. The Rangers holding on to a 6-2 lead here against the Chicago White Sox. Cole Hamels has been on a very nice run. No base runners allowed since the first inning. And in that first inning, he allowed, of course, the 2-run home run to Jose Abreu. Hit Todd Frazier, but has settled down since. You see the home runs there. And the Rangers swinging very good bats. Mike Napoli, Elvis Andrus, Cole Hamels continues to roll.
Well, he is settled right in and now works with a 4-run lead. Top of the order, Tim Anderson, who is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs, takes strike 1.
He's got 5 to go if he wants to catch Austin Bibbins-Dirks right when he sat down 19 in a row. Cole Hamels right now sitting at 14, but somewhat of a similar feel. I remember, of course, with Austin, it was a base hit, a home run. A great start that he had in Washington, and then he went 19 straight after that. This a little bit of that kind of same feel. It was a home run in the first inning, a double and a hit by pitch, but after that it's been 14 in a row for Cole.
2-strike offering, and he gets Anderson to chase strike 3. So his 4th strikeout of the afternoon.
Fox Sports Southwest and the Texas Rangers want you to celebrate summer with Summer Ticket Days. Get seats in the Cholula all-you-can-eat porch for just $34. Log on to TexasRangers.com/specials and use coupon code FSSW Summer.
All right, some activity for the Rangers as Cole Hamels, 1 out of the 6th inning, hasn't allowed a runner since the 1st inning. He's at 79 pitches and dumps in a strike to Melky Cabrera.
That was Ernesto Frieri, I believe, down there warming up.
Interesting. Why would he be warming up?
It's a good question. Pitch count seems pretty manageable right now for Cole Hamels. Could be just a light catch and not necessarily going all the way. You know, everybody handles it differently. A call to the bullpen, it could be, you know, hey, just start throwing a little bit. If he gets in trouble, it'll be you. Sometimes how the conversation goes, so I'm not exactly sure, but Hamels has been on a roll, that's for sure. We know that.
Comes way in on Cabrera, and did he get a piece of it?
I don't think so. I don't think they called that it hit him. He got out of the way. This ball did not hit him. That's the call. Slider down. It jumped out of the way. Question whether or not they got that foot. No, it did not. It bounced way in front. Now, if it hit him on the bounce, it's still a hit by pitch, but that was not the case.
So 1-2 on Cabrera. Hamels has turned back 15 straight. This one lifted out to left field. DeShields to his left, but coming over from center field was Gomez. 1 away, another 2 away here in the 6th inning. Let's check in with Emily.
Yeah, and exactly how Jeff Bannister will manage the bullpen in these latter innings has yet to be determined. He was still waiting to see if Keone Kela was going to be available. If it was a save situation, he said he would be the guy most likely to do that, but that depends on his availability. He did say that Matt Bush would not be closing games for right now until they can figure out how to get him back on track, so things very fluid there at the back end of the bullpen.
Yeah, and understandable with the way things have gone lately, both for Matt Bush, but overall this year for this bullpen, 16 blown saves, most in baseball. Last year had 17 total, as we just now hit the midway point of the season.
It can be a grind down there. For Matt Bush, you feel for him because you know he's looked forward to having that opportunity to close, and he certainly has done some good things, but he's had a couple of rough runs as well, as he will kind of go through and figure it out a little bit. See him down there talking with Dick Martinez, but that's what you were talking about. And the issues that the bullpen has had. It started in the very beginning of the season when Sam Dyson was closing. Matt Bush was named the closer on April 17th. You know, 10 for 14. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just a couple of bad ones that he has had, and so they'll reevaluate and figure out what they're going to do. It's a tough spot to be in, and Kela missed yesterday because of the sore shoulder. We found out afterwards. He's got closer stuff. There's no two ways about it. And both of those guys do. I think for Matt, a couple of bad games, just reevaluate the process in which how he was attacking some of these hitters. I'd like to see him get a little bit higher up with that fastball, elevate a little bit more, especially once he's ahead in the count.
Well, Abreu, a swing and a miss, and it's another perfect inning for Cole Hamels. He continues to deal as we head to the 7th inning.
He's done a great job once he's gotten to those 2-strike counts, and the breaking ball gets Jose Abreu way out front.
by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by AT&T Internet. Visit AT&T.com/keepcalm to learn more.
Yeah,
those guys are all speeding.
A
That is
little
not
bit
the
of
speed
traffic.
limit. That's not the right speed limit.
I guarantee it doesn't move at that pace. Holy moly. 6-2 our score as we go to the 7th inning. Top of the order coming for the Rangers. 2 runs for the White Sox. Those came in the first. Since then, they have been absolutely stymied by Cole Hamels. And now DeShields, who doubled in a run in his last at bat of the 5th inning. 1 for 3 today. A hole 0-1 to Chris Beck. Beck got the final 2 outs in the 6th. David Holmberg, we saw him yesterday too. He gets ready. One and twos. That one took a piece of Narvaez's face mask with it.
Got a big swing from Delino. Looks like he's taking a little bit of a different approach. We did see him try to lay down that bunt that popped up and hit his back the second time, but he's driven the ball a little bit today.
We'll see if he cuts down a little bit here with 2 strikes, 1 and 2 the count. Fouls it off. Well, as a part of the story last night, it seems to be again today, Rangers hitters fighting off pitches that are close in the zone. They fouled off so many yesterday and have done it again today. Pushed Holland's pitch count up there quickly. He was out of the game in the 6th inning. And this ball high in the air out to right center. Engel was shaded the other way. The center fielder ranges way over and he can't get it. DeShields to second and he will stop there. Engel was way over in left field and traveled a long way to get to that ball. He wondered maybe if it might be a better play for Garcia.
I'm trying to figure out why Delino DeShields looks so frustrated. I'm not sure if he didn't bust it out of the box. Let's check it here. He hit this ball and probably thought it was a routine flyout, but I can't imagine he thought that he was actually going to get to third on this ball. You see the communication issues there. I don't know. What do you got on this? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you think he gets the third?
Yeah, I do think so. He was pretty much at second when that had bounced.
Yeah.
And I think had he gotten a better start out of the box, yeah, I think he feels like he could have had a triple. Andrus takes one away for a ball.
That was called a double officially?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. I don't think Engel got a glove on it.
No, but either way, one of those guys should have caught that ball. Listen, I'm all for Delino getting the double there, but he knows he popped that ball up, and so it's miscommunication, which I know doesn't go down as an error. But Garcia could have caught that ball. He was called up by the center fielder, who then all of a sudden realized he didn't have a beat on it the way that he thought he did. So you penalized the pitcher for the poor communication. You see Garcia pulling off like he would have caught that ball easily, but he pulled off like he should have because he was called off by a center fielder who thought he could reach that baseball and couldn't.
But I mean, but they didn't make. I mean, they weren't even really that close. I agree. He could have gotten there.
Should have.
Yeah, well,
not could have. Should have. Should have.
But it was the cleverness with which Delino put that ball in that tough spot.
You know what?
He should be rewarded.
Makes sense. Now I'm sold.
Andrus, there was no debating the last one he hit. It went over the wall. And that one way inside. It's 2-0. So the Rangers using the long ball again today. Napoli, a 2-run homer in the 6th inning. Andrus, a 2-run homer in the 5th inning. Beck's 2-0. And it's foul back.
Let's go back and take a look at that home run from Elvis in the 5th inning. See the pitch from Derek Collins set over the middle of the plate, and Elvis knew it crushes his baseball to left field. And it was a little bit close, but I think Elvis felt pretty good about it coming off the bat. We've seen the ball carry a little bit to left field. Melky had a shot at it, though. Could have got up on the wall. That would have been fun to watch, but certainly glad he didn't get it.
2-1. That is a strike, and it is 2-2. Rangers trying to even this series this afternoon. Set up a rubber match tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the final game in this series in Chicago, and then it's back home. Long trip. This is game 9 of a 10-gamer. And another pop-up down the right field line. Garcia coming in, and he can't get to that one in time.
This may surprise you a little bit when you keep track of these kinds of things and how guys work and how quickly. So the average pace in Major League Baseball, 24.1. Any guesses where Mr. Beck is?
So 24.1 seconds between pitches by the average Major League pitcher. Starter reliever doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is a Fangraph stat. They do a good job of keeping track of this. Any guesses?
Well, I mean, you seem to be leading me to Beck being under that number, but I would find that very hard to believe. I would say he's over that number, and well, I don't really have a gauge for how far over a guy could go. What's really
30.1. He's
That's
in the
where he
30s.
is?
That's absurd. There's probably like 3 or 4 guys that are in the 30s.
Wow.
He needs to pick it up.
Well, he's going to take a moment here.
He's like, oh, you think that's slow?
Man alive. We saw it yesterday, too, and it was excruciating at times. Hey, watch every out-of-market regular season game live on MLB.TV Premium on over 400 supported devices. Plus, you get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Just go to MLB.TV for details. The organ started playing between pitches there. Did you hear that? I mean,
yeah, plenty of time to get a tune in.
Man. This 2-2. Look out. No bridge on Andrus, and it's a full count.
Take a look at this one here. Up and in as Elvis gets out of the way. And listen, you go in with the idea of course, making a hitter uncomfortable. You know Elvis has been swinging a really good bat, but not quite that high. You want to go usually about chest high and just get him leaning back a little bit, make that hitter move his feet.
Payoff to Andrus, and he'll shoot it down the line. Another foul ball. Extend the at-bat just a little bit. Beck came in last inning, and as we mentioned, he gave up the home run to Napoli, then got 2 outs. He's given up a double this inning, but he's already thrown 27 pitches so far to get 2 outs in the game. No outs here in the 7th. To 3-2. And foul back toward us. That might be as close as you're going to get.
I was in position. I didn't panic.
No, you showed me something there. I think it was the fact that you knew it was never going to get into the booth.
There was a comfort level.
Another conversation for Narvaez and Beck. There's a 3-2. And Andrus out to center field. That one pretty well struck. Angling to his right to make the catch. Delano tags at second. He'll head to third, and he's in there easily on the fly ball out. 1 away. But the Rangers have a man at third base. And that will do it for Chris Beck. White Sox will make a move into their bullpen. 1 out. Runner at third. Beck is done. The Rangers leading by 4. We'll tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment. It's top of the 7th inning, and by the way, the can't miss event of the summer. It's going to South Beach. Baseball's biggest stars taking the field for Major League Baseball's All-Star Game July 11th in Miami, only on Fox. Beautiful sunny day in Chicago. Rangers with the 6-2 lead. Nomar Mazara, third place hitter, up at the plate. 1 out, a man at third base, and David Holmberg, the new pitcher.
Yeah, and you see the numbers there. We saw him yesterday. Interesting guy. Does not throw particularly hard. Does have a pretty good breaking ball. We got to look at that yesterday. We'll see how he does here again today. Does have very good numbers against left-handed hitters. 167 batting average against, but he's done well against his righties as well. 216.
Gets Mazara to offer at his first pitch. Nomar 0 for 3 so far today. So Holmberg taking over as the third pitcher this afternoon for Chicago. Holland 5 1/3. Beck an inning in relief. And now the lefty. It's 1-1 to Mazara. See Alex Claudio getting loose for the Rangers, while Cole Hamels has retired 17 in a row. Claudio is the second pitcher we have seen loosening up in the Rangers pen today.
Yeah, we'll see how Jeff Bannister decides to play this. This has looked like a very smooth outing for Cole Hamels, and looks like he would probably still be in the game. When you see those relievers throwing with only 1 out, makes you wonder a little bit. Now, I don't think Alex necessarily would be starting the inning, because the White Sox are 1 pitch away from getting out of this thing, and Alex hasn't turned it up yet.
Little bouncer, first base, and Abreu fields it right on the bag. 2 away. So Shields has to stay at third base. Here comes Adrian Beltre. Already 1 more hit today. It's in 2,971 as he continues his way up the charts. Next man on the list for him, Sam Rice, the Hall of Famer. 2,987 hits, 31st all time. Longtime Senator. Finished with the Cleveland Indians. And mostly famous for a play he made in the 1925 World Series. A home run he caught, tumbled over the fence, and the out was called. He came back up, showed the baseball But he disappeared behind that wall, and people really, they questioned for years, did he really catch that ball? They weren't real sure. And he was always really coy about it all the way to his dying days. He wrote a letter to be opened on his death. And in 1974, they opened the letter in which he revealed, yeah, I caught the ball.
So he had a good sense of humor, too.
Yeah, that's big time.
Not like that play. Remember Derek Wise? Is it Derek Wise? That play in Yankee Stadium where he dove in the stands down the left field line?
Yes.
Definitely did not catch it. Nobody saw it.
Right.
Picked up the ball, put it in his glove, showed it to the umpire. And the hitter was ruled out.
Beltre offered the intentional pass. He is at first. Gomez with a count now at 1-1.
Excuse me, Dwayne Wise. I don't say that wrong. Former teammate. That's unforgivable.
Former teammate even.
Dwayne Wise. My bad.
Nice job, Ricky. DeShields third base. Beltre at first. This ball hit to center field. Engel goes back, but positions himself. Now goes back again and makes the catch. Well, some tough reads in the outfield today. Rangers lead them on the corners in the 7th. They'll stand and stretch here in Chicago. It's a 4-run game.
Of the White Sox as we head to the bottom of the 7th in game 2 of 3 here in Chicago. It is time for our State Farm winning combination, and it comes courtesy of the guy on the mound, Mr. Cole Hamels, bouncing back quite nicely after a rough outing his last time out. He's now retired 17 straight as we head here to the bottom of the 7th inning. No walks today, has gotten ahead in the count, and that for Cole Hamels is definitely a State Farm winning combination, keeping guys off base. 17 straight, going for 18 right here, guys.
Yeah, all right. Look at those numbers right there. Great work today for Cole Hamels. Really good response after his last start in Cleveland. And he goes after Todd Frazier. Jumps ahead 0-2. So 17 in a row for him. Most he has ever retired in a row. 21. That was back when he was with the Phillies. And that against the Giants in 2009. And this ball out toward right field. Playable. Mazzara hauls it in. That is number 18 in a row.
Big moment here, right? Chance to tie Austin Bibbins-Dirk. So, looking, I'm going to guess that was the longest streak we probably had this year with the Rangers. Had to be.
Gotta be.
19. Him in Washington.
For Hamels as a Ranger, 19 in a row. The best he has done. Did that last August against the Cleveland Indians. So Could match that right here.
We talk about Austin and his story this year. We've talked about it a bunch, and so here he is as a rookie, getting his first taste of the league, and he's done a great job. And then, of course, Cole Hamels just has the accolades, right? The long career, all the successes. They're only a year apart in age. Cole's 33, Austin 32.
2 balls and no strikes to Matt Davidson, who has punched out both times he has come up. That is crazy. Frazier, who just flew out to right field, he was the last base runner that the White Sox had back in the first inning. Hamels on trouble here, 3-0 to the White Sox designated hitter. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Texas. And that one proved 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 error for the White Sox.
Kind of digging in and looking at what Cole has done today, pitch by pitch. Really nice on the fastball. 75% of those have been in the strike zone, but really across the board. The cutter, 68%. The changeup as well at 67. These are all really good numbers on the off speed. Only the curveball has been out of the strike zone right around 50% of the time, but that's a chase pitch for him too, right? He uses that below the zone, tries to get some of those swings and misses. It's been a very solid outing all the way around here for Cole Hamels.
Well, his payoff pitch. And strike 3 called. He punches out Davidson for a 3rd time this afternoon. All right, 2 away. Time for us to take a Chevy game break. Let's check in with Rick Renner. All right, thanks, Rick. And how about this? 19 in a row retired by Cole Hamels. 96 pitches into his afternoon, and he is done. Jeff Bannister has taken the baseball. Alex Claudio coming on.
Here we are. It is the bottom of the 7th inning and 2 outs, and you see the high fives all around for Cole Hamels as his afternoon is over, but he finished it in tremendous fashion. 19 batters retired straight. That ties the longest streak by the rookie sensation here, Austin Bibbins. So a nice day for Cole Hamels, and the Rangers will turn it over to their bullpen, and they'll start it off with Alex Claudio. You see the usage here for Alex, who's done an excellent job for the Rangers, has been so key to the season so far. All the issues that there have been in this bullpen, Alex Claudio has been a rock.
Well, he is on to face Yolmer Sanchez, who is 0 for 2. Sanchez is flied to right, grounded out to 3rd. 2 outs, nobody on here in the 7th inning, and Claudio delivers low, 2-0. So Hamels finished, I want to say, 96 pitches.
You should say 96. I know you want
6 2/3. I'm desiring. I've been dying to say it. 96 pitches. I think that was the number.
That was correct.
3-0 to Sanchez.
5 strikeouts, 66% strikes, which was really important. Just really ahead all day. Did an excellent job, and it's up to Alex to finish this inning out.
Finds the strike zone, makes it 3-1 on Sanchez. So two hits allowed by Hamels today. One of them, the 2-run homer by Jose Abreu. That was really before any of us had settled into this ball game. And once he settled in, look out. Hamels was dynamite this afternoon. And Yolmer Sanchez works a walk. The 2 out here in the 7th off Claudio. And he's not happy about that.
You don't see it very often either from Alex, who has had a tremendous season in that regard. 1.8 walks per 9 innings. That's well above average. That is an excellent rate. So unusual to see him lead an inning off with a walk. He's had a lot of work. You know, he's kind of a weird run that he is in right now, where he threw 3 in a row. A couple of games to finish out the Yankees series, and then the first one in Cleveland. Then he had 3 days off, but he pitched last night and he's back out there again today.
Adam Engel 0 for 2. And takes a strike. Engel with a fly ball out, a ground ball out. Way off the plate. Engel yesterday was the guy who started everything in that 9th inning. He had the base hit up the middle off Matt Bush. It started that 3-run ninth. He was 1 for 4 last night, 0 for 2 so far today. And that one's just a little bit wide. It's 2-1. Both starters out of the game. Bullpens from here. And the 2-1. One misses. Claudio, yeah, punching that mid, a little frustrated. Engel just 25 years old.
Odor kind of slides in just to check in with Alex Claudio, try to get him refocused. Looks like he's trying to feel it here a little bit. Obviously, the leadoff walk and now falling behind 3-1, excuse me. Rangers have been spoiled with his consistency, and so whenever you see him have a couple of batters like this, it really sticks out.
This is ball 4. Oh boy. So back-to-back walks. And a rough start to this one. And that gets Brocail out there quickly.
Yeah, and for Doug Brocail, just a matter of whether or not he maybe sees anything here with Alex Claudio. You know, he's got that unique delivery with that sidearm delivery. But he has been really consistent from that angle. So he's been comfortable all year. Has really delivered. Done a nice job here, but at least now he's in that spot where he gets that lefty. He's done a great job against lefties this year. He hasn't gotten the opportunities nearly as much. We talked about this a little bit last night and how often teams will pinch hit in these situations. And it appears that's going to be the case right now.
So indeed, Kevin Smith announced as the pinch hitter here for Narvaez. Smith yesterday was the DH and went 3 for 4. Had hits in his first 3 at-bats before finally reaching out a fielder's choice in the 8th. Had a really nice night at the plate.
hitting the ball the other way, right? That's what we saw from him, staying inside the ball. And Alex probably knows as a pinch hitter he might be aggressive. Great time for a first pitch changeup.
Bouncer, first baseline, fair ball down into the right field corner. Here comes Sanchez. He'll score. Around third base, Engel. No throw offered. 2 runs are in. Smith with a pinch hit double, and it's a 6-4 ball game.
You always want to be aware of the pinch hitters that come in off the bench, RBI situations, that they are going to be aggressive early. But Alex decides to go with the fastball that finishes over the plate. It didn't have that same kind of arm side run that we usually see, and so that's maybe something that's missing for him today. But Smith doesn't wait around, and those were the same kind of at-bats that we saw from him last night, where he just kind of keeps the hands in, tries to take the ball the other way. He did exactly that on the fastball, and that's why I kind of said, no, I'd like to change up, just because if you get an aggressive hitter, righty pinch hitter, coming out, taking a big swing early, you can probably get him out front.
Brings up Willie Garcia. And he takes a strike. So 2 runs in after Hamels leaves the game. A couple of walks, a double. Bottom of this White Sox order has been a handful. The first game and a half here of this series. Little tapper off into the back, slowly towards second. Odor charges, throws out Garcia, and that will end the inning. But the White Sox chip away for 2. And we go to the 8th inning, suddenly just a 2-run game.
Sox by a score of 6-4. Things getting a little bit closer here, but how about this Saturday, July 8th? The Rangers will be playing the Angels at 8 o'clock, and we're going to go retro for Turn Back the Clock night. The first 15,000 fans, 14 and older, get a Mike Napoli powder blue replica jersey. That's going to be courtesy of Fox Sports Southwest and Southwest Airlines. Tickets available at TexasRangers.com, or go old school. Call 972-RANGERS.
Well, Kevin Smith, after delivering that 2-run double a moment ago, stays in the game as catcher. And we go to the 8th. It'll be Odor, Napoli, and Lucroy in this 8th inning. Rangers with a 2-run lead. Done a nice job offensively today. 6 runs on 7 hits. Holmberg back out, and Odor showing bunt there.
Now, interesting. Frazier came running in, and even though there's the shift, he was kind of close. And I wonder, Rugi obviously hit this ball foul to the left side, but the way that the infield is situated right now, a drag bunt would actually work pretty well, or something if you could bunt past the pitcher. Those left-handed pitchers have a tendency to fall off the third base side. So if Rugi were to try to bunt for a hit, he actually would have a couple of different options. He would try to put one down, third baseline, or you push that one toward the second baseman. If he fields it on the grass, Ruby would almost certainly be safe.
Of course, now with the count 0-2, not likely to be attempting any of that as he foul tips that one to stay alive. Talking to Banny about it the other day. How comfortable is he with Odor bunting? Would you ask him to do it on occasion? And I don't know that he said one way or the other definitively, but did say if he were to bunt, he'd be a lot more comfortable dragging it, as you're pointing out, to that right side. Hammers this one high in the air down the right field line. If that stays fair, that is trouble, and it is gone. Odor hits it over the fence. That'll work too.
Much better than a bunt. I like the strategy there. Fake the bunt, foul it off, hit a bomb to right field. And that's a nice one because obviously the Rangers just let up 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to be able to come back and put another one on the board right away. Kind of change that momentum a little bit. It's certainly a good thing that you see Ruben Odor with his celebrations there. And they wanted to go up. They did go up. And Ruben Odor was ready for it. I don't think he knew. You know, he usually knows. I think he was unsure. I think he might have thought he hooked his ball a little bit, but it stayed straight.
Well, it adds to the Rangers' lead back to a 3-run advantage. It also runs Holberg from the game. So another signal to the bullpen. Another new pitcher coming on when we return. Game. All right, how about our AT&T high-speed replay?
We got to take a look at the day here and look at Elvis Andrus with that home run. It just got out. The Mike Napoli home run that got way out. And then Ruben Odor, how about this? His first ever career 0-2 bomb, and it indeed was a bomb, and in a nice spot as the Rangers get one back after letting up 2. And is that another one here maybe from Mike Napoli? Let's get greedy.
But there's 29 of the 45 runs the Rangers have scored on this trip via the 19 home runs that they have hit. Just an absurd number. 1-strike pitch and a tapper left side of the infield, playable for Anderson. Goes out Napoli. 1 away in the 8th as Michael Inoa is the new pitcher.
We'll take a look, see the numbers here. 22nd game on the season for Inoa. It's a guy with a pretty good arm, averaging 93 miles an hour on the fastball. You'll see a slider, you'll see a curve, and a changeup as well. A lot of walks there. You see the 20 walks, the high ERA. That's been a little bit of an issue, to say the least.
I spent a little time on the disabled list with a right hip flexor strain, and lately, in his last 10 outings, his earned run average is nearly 10. So it's been a bit of a struggle for him to get back on track. He's given up quite a high average in those 10 outings as well. Opponents hitting .320 off of him. 1-0 to Lucroy. And squeeze that one a little tight. 2-0. A big insurance run this inning on the homer by Rougned Odor, who's had a nice day at the plate. Only one out though in the inning. So the Rangers would love to add just a little bit more should the opportunity present itself. Lucroy 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and an RBI. This one sent out toward right field. That will get down and roll to the fence. Lucroy pedals to second, and he'll be in there easily with a 1-out double.
Jonathan Lucroy continues to drive the ball so well the opposite way. We have seen this from him consistently, but especially over the past couple of months, he's been swinging a good bat. Gets a fastball middle down and gets some head to that one. Gets something behind him as he drives that ball all the way to the wall.
So he's in scoring position for Robinson Chirinos. Chirinos 0 for 3 today. How about that? An RBI basically every 4 at bats. And that one gets him. Boy, into the first pitch. Chirinos goes to first. Rangers have a couple of base runners now in the 8th inning.
Well, not exactly what you want to see here for Robinson Chirinos, but the Rangers will take the base runners. It looked like it caught maybe part of his elbow in the ribs, maybe just in the ribs, but it certainly did not feel good. You know, the idea of adding on, we've talked a bunch about some of the struggles right now in the Ranger bullpen. We've also talked about how they have scored runs early, but maybe not as much late. They got 3 runs here so far since the 6th inning, but I think a couple of more would suffice.
The Shields. And by the way, there's a couple of doubles. Driven in a run, scored a run today. Opportunity to add to that. Rangers are 29-21 this year when DeShields leads off. Leading right now by 3 runs. Mentioned earlier, there's just something about it when he has been in that leadoff spot. A, he's been productive, and B, this team has had success.
He brings so much to the table, right? It's not just getting on base, but his ability to run, to distract the pitcher, to get maybe that pitcher's mind off the hitter a little bit, causing some mistakes. We always talk about that with great base stealers, guys with great speed. The bunt attempts have been really good for him. He's done a nice job all the way around.
Two and 1 the count. We talk so much about the home runs, the swing and the miss with this Rangers team and with baseball in general. And Delano's been the one guy who can consistently give you a much different look. Just the 1 home run. Getting on at a very high average this year for him. Hits this ball high in the air to short center field. Engel coming on, and he's there to make the catch. There are 2 away. So it's going to be up to Elvis Andrus. Well, last night we had a heart stopper. It was a 3-run rally in the 9th inning for the White Sox to steal one from the Rangers. 8-7 the final score. We talked about it at the open today, the bullpen woes for this Rangers team. It was the 5th time this year that they lost a game when leading after 8 innings. Most in Major League Baseball. Today back with a 3-run lead and trying to add to it here. Andrus backs off the plate. A home run today, 1 for 4. You know it. Off the plate again. 2 balls, no strikes. You know, it was a big international signing by the Oakland A's. As a 16-year-old coming out of the Dominican, signed for, at that time, it was a record international signing bonus of $4.25 million. Thought very highly of this young man. 6'7", 210 pounds, electric arm. Been involved in a big trade since then. Oakland sending him here to Chicago as part of the Jeff Samardzija deal. Last year, got a taste of the big leagues. This year, up again in his 2-1 pitch to Andrus. Outside.
And even though that signing was, quite a long time ago, he's still only 25 years old. He hasn't even hit necessarily what a lot of evaluators would tell you should be his prime.
(3-1) and he misses. Ball 4, so they are loaded up for Nomar Mazara. Walk to Andrus, forces Lucroy to third, Chirinos to second base. And with a left-handed hitter coming up, some cause for concern. Don Cooper hops up and will race out to the mound.
He knows that, it has to be a little bit careful here. He has only faced 46 lefties this season, but he has allowed 4 home runs, even number of strikeouts to walks with 9. So lefties have been a little bit of an issue. The batting average is fine at 239, but the home runs and the walks have not been. And a nice opportunity here for the Rangers to try to put this game out of reach. An extra base hit potentially could clear the bases with Elvis Andrus at first.
You see the splits. No more power for left-handed hitters. Boy, the Rangers, another bases loaded spot. Seem to have had many of these in this series. Nomar 0 for 4 so far today. Before we're ready, Smith asked for time. And we reset. Big spot here for Inoa and for Mazara. Nomar 11 home runs, 48 RBIs, and this is second year in the big leagues. Last year came up as a 20-year-old. 1-1 the count. Seven for the score. Rangers have already hit 3 home runs today. And that one in there for a strike. 1-2 the count.
We're talking about that upcoming schedule a little bit. The Boston Red Sox will be coming to town next week. And Chris Sale through today punched out 11 in 7 innings. That's some good news for the Rangers. That means, of course, they will miss him. Barely.
But well, I don't know how much they'll miss him.
I will not miss him in that way.
I hope he enjoys the barbecue. A nice stay in Arlington. The 1-2 pitch and fouled off. Mazara stays alive. Been a tough roadie for Mazara. Just 2 hits so far on this trip, but one of them a home run. A stretch there where he had gone 0 for 11, but then homered off Corey Kluber Thursday to break that long stretch. Lucroy third, Chirinos second, Andrus at first base, and the 1-2. It's off the plate.
So I got the official cigar count at least minimum of 3.
Yeah, I think minimum of 3 today for Jerry.
Could be a 4 in there. We had a little bit of a pause. It seemed kind of quick. It was like the first, second inning. And the way he came back, Jerry Reinsdorf, as you taught me, is the only one allowed to smoke at this ballpark. And we'll indulge in a cigar or 3 or 4 maybe before this game. So.
Yeah. Right in the booth below us, or the suite below us, the 2-2. This one lined out toward left field. Cabrera was deep, comes in. Oh, it skips past him and gets into the corner. 2 runs are in. Andrus waved around third. Mazara will try for 3, and he's in there with a bases clearing triple. Well, there's your big hit. Rangers have been waiting for that one for a couple of days here in Chicago. And that just took a wicked skip past Cabrera and makes it a 10-4 Rangers lead.
Well, Nomar does a great job of hitting this ball the other way, and so when a lefty does this off of a right-handed pitcher especially, you're going to get a little bit of that sideways spin, and that is exactly what happened. And Melky Cabrera just didn't see it, didn't read it right off the bat. And as that ball hit, skips right past him, did not get around that ball, and he had time to get there. And that ends up being a huge mistake. Nomar Mazara with a triple and 3 RBIs.
His second triple of the year. And now he's just 90 feet away for Adrian Beltre. 2 out, 8th inning. You know it was 1-0. And that one is outside. Beltre with a base hit in the 2nd inning, was intentionally walked in the 7th. 1 for 3 tonight, or this afternoon. 2-0. And it's a little bit tight. And we know I having trouble commanding the zone. Came in after the home run by Odor. Got a ground ball out, but a double, a hit batter. 1 out later, a walk, and then the triple to Mazara. And he has walked Beltre on 4 pitches. Rangers on the corner. Smith, as he was headed out to the mound, looked back into the dugout as if to say, anyone?
Well, there's nobody warming up in the White Sox bullpen, and so Noah's on his own to get out of this jam that he has put himself in. I mean, he came in and had a clean inning to work with, even though there was the leadoff home run. Obviously, nobody on base. Got the ground out to double, then he hit a batter. Got the shields to fly out, and then it was the walk, triple, and now another walk.
So some much needed insurance runs. 4 runs in this 8th inning, but Mazara 3rd, Beltre 1st now for Carlos Gomez. Gomez 1 for 3 today, was also hit by a pitch. Ten runs on 10 hits. Bouncer foul, third base side, makes it 0-2. We were talking earlier about run differential and how that has worked out this year for the Rangers. It's so much better than it was last year. And last year, a 95 win season. This year, 2 games under 500 coming into today. And there's strike 3 called on Gomez. 2 strikes out looking and leaves him on the corners. But another big inning for the Rangers.
Nomar Mazara delivered big. His 2nd triple of the year, 5th of his career, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
run, top of the 8th inning. Rangers now up by 6. Now our AT&T pitching matchup tomorrow in the finale. Tyson Ross, Jose Quintana, who, by the way, had a really nice month of June. And we'll get after it tomorrow afternoon. Our pregame beginning at 12:30 here on Fox Sports Southwest. Gallo comes in the game, takes over at first base for Napoli. And here we go on the bottom of the 8th. Top of the order for Chicago. Tim Anderson takes a strike from Alex Claudio. Anderson's 0 for 3 today. And he swung. 0-2 the count. Outfield plays him pretty deep, and he swings and misses at a changeup. And that is strike 3. 1 away in the 8th inning.
Well, that's that great slow changeup from Alex Claudio, and watch the location. Could not have been in a better spot when you got a guy in swing mode who hasn't seen that pitch very much at all, and barely a strike at one point. Great speed differential, but also that movement down. So hard to lay off.
One away from Melky Cabrera, who's had a somewhat adventurous day in left field. And has one of the 3 hits today for the Sox. Had a double in the first inning and then came in on the Abreu home run. Hits this ball up the middle. That's a base hit. So Cabrera on in the 8th. Bring up Jose Abreu.
This is the part of the order where there will be some matchup issues here for Alex Claudio. He's got a great lead to work with, but you get to the middle now here. Cabrera hits that ball hard. You got 3 righties that are due up now with Abreu, Frazier, and Davidson. And yes, while that changeup was on, it's very effective against those right-handed hitters. But Jose Abreu has been so good against lefties. This is a great matchup necessarily for Alex.
Fly ball down the right side, out of play. Well, Abreu been pretty good in this series. First 2 games so far. Up and down year for him a little bit. He's having a nice weekend. 1-1 the count. Now, should the Rangers go ahead and win this ball game today, they're not quite there yet, but if they could win this one, then they could go for a series win tomorrow. They won the series last weekend in New York against the Yankees and dropped 3 of 4 in Cleveland. But if they were to win this series, well, that would give them a 500 road trip. And that, look, 500 road trip on any trip is good. On this trip would be great.
No doubt about it. Look at the competition now. These last couple of games here in Chicago, I think, are important because obviously the White Sox not nearly as good of a team as the other ones that played on the stretch.
Andrus with a feed to second for 1. The relay from Odor in time. Double play. 6-4, 3 inning over for Alex Claudio and the Rangers. We go to the 9th inning. Rangers up by 6.
Well, how about Alex really executing a great pitch here against a tough righty in Abreu? Gets that ground ball and a perfect double play.
Score of 10-4. Joey Gallo in at first base and up to bat here in the top of the 9th. And Joey did say today he had an opportunity to participate in the home run derby at the All-Star game, but has decided to forego that opportunity, wants to focus on his game here. You saw the home run from him last night, 454 feet to the opposite field. 113 miles per hour off the bat. 21st of the season for Gallo. We know he can hit the long ball, but Joey said, look, it's my rookie season. I feel like there are other guys who are more deserving. I just don't feel like it's the right situation for me to do it at this point in time. Hopefully I'll get other opportunities later on in my career, but right now I just don't really want to rock the boat with what I'm trying to do with my game.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. What do you think of that?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think it's, listen, I never will give a guy a hard time who decides that he does not want to participate in the home run derby. You have your priorities first, and your team is your first priority, and your season is your first priority. And if you have any reservations, if you're concerned about what that may mean to your swing, or if you feel like you need the time off, or you feel like you're undeserving, or you don't want the attention, whatever it may be, I can't fault the guy for it. It's an unselfish move.
Rougned Odor starting up this 9th inning. It's a ball and a strike from Minaya. Juan Minaya, who's come on to pitch. I was about to say, but it is Minaya. And runs that one a little tight, 2-1. Holland went 5 1/3. Then Chris Beck, Holmberg, Manoah. Now the 5th pitcher of the afternoon. Three and 1 the count. Odor homered to start that 8th inning, an 8th inning that saw the Rangers score 4 runs. And really take command of this game. And Hamels, this ball foul. On the right field line, a couple of fans wearing gloves, leaning over the railing, very nearly made a play. This crowd has thinned out a little bit in the late innings and quieted down quite a bit. This one popped foul out of play. Last night was mullet night, so we expected them to stay. They were having fun. Made noise all the way to the end, and they were rewarded for staying last night here in Chicago. But today, a couple sneaking out. Swing and a miss, and Odor strikes out to start the 9th inning.
I think probably deservedly so. It's a beautiful day here in Chicago. It does feel like the Rangers have this one well in hand. And just try to stay away from some of the theatrics from last night. I feel pretty good about it. Time to move on to something else. Still a lot to do today.
Saturday in Chicago, and to point out, great weather and so many really beautiful parks in the area. All sorts of activity going on in the city. One of America's really great cities. Real fun place to visit. Gallo taking his first hacks of the day, and he's in a hole 0-2.
We were talking about it earlier and saying, okay, well, we were kind of speculating on whether or not we thought Joey Gallo might participate in the home run derby this year, and then kind of left us with the question saying, well, I wonder who would be there, especially on the American League side. We know that Giancarlo Stanton has committed.
Strikeout swinging, 2 away in the 9th inning.
You start looking around kind of the American League and wondering, where this will go. Aaron Judge hasn't said anything, at least not that I've seen as of yet. I know a lot of people would love to see him participate in that home run derby, having the monster season leading the American League, 27 home runs. You got, I was trying to figure out off the top of my head, like, well, who else is in there as far as the list? George Springer is 2. I think it's down to like Logan Morrison, Justin Smoke, Chris Davis out in Oakland. might not have the same pop without a guy like Judge and Gallo, quite honestly. And that's okay. I don't blame any of those guys if they don't do it.
In a way, though, and it's a little bit unfair for Judge. But can you really have a home run derby without having him in it this year? I mean, does it count? That just doesn't quite seem right. And again, I think everybody has a right to say no.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing, and I'm just guessing, there's got to be some pressure coming from somewhere to get him in there.
Yeah, you wonder about Major League Baseball and events on another sports network. They certainly would love to have him there, but he's got to do what's best for him. I mean, this is his first full year in the big leagues. It's a grind period. It becomes even more of a grind when you become a superstar as quickly as he has become, and the demands on your time. Everybody wanting to get a piece of you. And he's doing it in that huge market in New York as well, so that's asking a lot of you.
Lucroy draws the 2-out walk. It'll bring up Chirinos. Well, that was part of the conversation this spring and then early portions of this season with Nomar Mazara. Last year came up right away, was a 20-year-old rookie, turning heads, hitting massive home runs, had a great year. Jeff Bannister pointed out, Nomar's talked about it too, no real idea what he was going through at the time. And this year, so much better prepared. Feels so much more comfortable understanding the pacing and the cadence. Of course, understanding how to get around certain cities, what the travel is going to be like, what the routine consists of on a daily basis. And until you go through it once, you just don't know the toll of a full 162 game schedule. And so I'm with you. You know, Judge, he's handled everything beautifully, but he doesn't even know yet what's waiting around the corner in this one. Chirinos chases one upstairs, and it's 0-2.
Because there's also the expectations of being in the postseason for the Yankees. So not only is this going to be the longest season of his career, no matter what happens, if they get into the postseason, go ahead and add on even more of a workload for these guys. I think that is often lost on a lot of people, and just what a grind this can really be. I mean, the fact that the minor league season is a month shorter. Now, he was up with the Yankees last year and got a little bit of a taste, but it's not the same as going wire to wire for 6 months.
Wamanaya trying to work his way through this 9th inning. A couple of strikeouts, a walk to Lucroy, the 1-2 pitch, and he strikes out Chirinos. So Manaya, very sharp, strikes out the side in the 9th. So out to the 9th coming. White Sox down by 6. A little bit south of Lake Michigan here this afternoon. All right, thanks. Here we go. Last of the 9th inning. Alex Claudio out for another inning of work or whatever. We'll see how far they want to push him. He came in to get the final out of the 7th inning. Had to work a little bit for that one. Then a pretty good 8th inning, which you got a double play. And so he starts Todd Frazier with ball 1. It'll be Frazier, Matt Davidson, and Yolmer Sanchez.
Yeah, interesting, I think, to see Jeff Bannister leave Alex out there right now, seeing if he can get through this 9th inning and shut it down. But listen, when he's on, he could neutralize those righties. And I mentioned it earlier and saying, well, you know, maybe not the greatest of matchups when you go through the middle of the lineup, but you saw him make the really good pitch to Jose Abreu to get that double play. And if he can locate this changeup and his good 2-seam fastball down and away from Todd Frazier, he should be in some pretty good shape. Just a matter of any mistakes. You have a smaller margin for error, I think, when you're Alex Claudio with that arm angle against the power righties. That's where you can get yourself in a little bit of trouble. But if he executes, he can get anybody out of this thing.
1-2 the count on Frazier, who hooks this one down the third base side, foul and out of play. Got way out in front of that one. Couple of fly ball outs for Frazier. Was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. After he was hit in the 1st inning, Cole Hamels went on to retire the next 19 straight and then left the game in favor of Claudio with 2 out in the 7th. 1-2. And that will square things. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Claudio getting some work in on this Saturday afternoon at 27 pitches already. And a swing and a miss. Frazier strikes out, 1 away in the 9th inning.
Now, what a great pitch here. Really a couple of really nice at-bats for Alex Claudio after Abreu, and now here he is against Todd Frazier. Great location. Look at the changeup as he turns it over. Watch this thing turning it over. Frazier out front swinging over the top. I guess you could look at the point now. Okay, well, Alex is at 28 pitches. He threw 18 yesterday. That means he's most likely going to be down for sure tomorrow and maybe even Monday if he goes much further.
So now Davidson, who has 3 strikeouts today, puts him at 99. And the 1-0. Bouncer, shortstop. Andrus with time. Good throw. And there are 2 out in the 9th inning. So Yolmer Sanchez, the last chance for the White Sox. Down by 6 in the 9th. Rangers yesterday had the big lead. Gave up a run in the 8th. 3 in the 9th inning to fall short 8-7. Today have come back. Scored 10 runs on 10 hits. And with the good pitching of Cole Hamels and now Alex Claudio, feeling like they're in pretty good shape right here. Sanchez 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Chirinos communicates out to Alex Claudio. The 1-strike pitch tapped down in the dirt. 0-2. Well, with this one done, we will be halfway done. 81 games into the season. Rangers, should they hold on here, would be 40-41. That one just a little bit outside. But a lot of ups and downs in this first half of the season for the Rangers. Offense has performed real well. Starting pitching has endured some injuries, but a number of guys have really stepped in nicely. The 1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Sanchez cut down on strikes. And that's a perfect 9th inning for Alex Claudio. Rangers win it 10-4. That was a very nice bounce-back win today for the Rangers. Stay with us. Rick Renner, David Murphy, and Mike Bassick. They'll be back to talk about Cole Hamels. Give you all the player reaction and analysis from this one as well. For CJ Nitkowski, Emily Jones, and our entire crew, this is Dave Raymond inviting you to stay with us. Our coverage of this afternoon's game continues right after this.